will be one of the greatest. That is a vow, yeah, that is a promise. Always wanted to be famous, just being real, yeah, just being honest. My haters gon' always be nameless, give them no clout, I give them no power. Creators feel different, they ancient, sooner than later, what will be ours? I keep an eye out for the numbers, I stay in contact, synchronization. To infinity, even beyond it, I am a common, no destination. A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not go for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get ugly, yeah. Hey, no problem when I'm not equation. Present, loaded, observation. I'm not new here, reborn creation. Come and find me, sending location.
Hey guys, hey. Please like this video on your way in or out the door. Shout out to the Bench Replay Game. What's up, Bougie Auntie? How you doing, boo? Hey guys, it's been quite a day, and I ain't gonna lie, I have been entertained. Entertained. Oh my goodness. So entertaining. Where do I start? Oh, I think I know where I'm gonna start. Oh, hold on, I gotta guess.
Hey, Uppity.
Hey Edie, how you doing, boo?
How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, man. I have missed you, man. I have missed you.
Same. Miss you so much. How you been?
Oh man, I've been good. How's Nyla doing?
She's doing great. She's laying down, watching cartoons.
That's good because it's. I know it's summertime, so I know she's gonna be having a whole bunch of fun outside and stuff
You
like that.
already know. Unfortunately, I had to. What's up, HCA, sweetie? I had like a little emergency because I did plan on going somewhere this weekend, but I had to want to spend the money on that. But we definitely got some upcoming trips coming up. Yes, most definitely.
Right. And you see, Nessa's PR team is doing damage control to deflect from Nessa's poetry about her life. I think that this is
Yes.
like I feel like this is like the new deflection from Ness having a horrible life and like lying to hundreds of people about and now all of a sudden, according to Brooke, Uppity started everything. So that's why
Right. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that
yeah.
amazing? And according to her and Intrinsic, anybody that read that poem was gonna get struck down. Well, I read the poem, and I put my nigga when I'm putting a gangster on, take some, shake something, and you two don't give a fuck, bitch. Because it's not a privacy, it's not a privacy conflict. I read a poem from a website that was public. Hmm.
Right. And even Jay Dunn was like, because on your thumbnail, what is that? Like, what type of complaint did you get?
A privacy complaint, but
Oh,
Jay Dummy said it was a copyright problem. So why didn't she file that? She owned the publishing. Yeah, I got to see
right.
a lot of dumb people. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that sound like really stupid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because like they didn't have any grounds to do anything clearly. I mean, even when I had my channel up, they was trying to do like even ZX was talking about on his channel, they were trying to do like caption complaints and stuff like that or whatever. Like they were just trying to do anything to try to hit my channel and nothing ever flew. Like I was just like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? So, I was gonna tell you that I don't know if you heard, like there were people underneath the comment section on, even on Nessa's comment section. I mean, I don't even know if it was Nessa's comment section, but I've heard people like Jay Wilson, Face Yaya. Like I've heard, like Jay Wilson said, in his last live, he was like, "Well, my my heart goes out to Ness and stuff like that," and I was like because he was like he read the poems and I was like, well, if you had the education that you claim that you have, and just because you have an education does not make you intelligent. Let's remind people of that
Right.
because because Jay Dunn keeps on flaunting her degree,
And
and
she
it's
probably
like
got it's probably as empty as Jay Wilson's, but go ahead.
yeah, yeah, and that doesn't mean education does not equate to intelligence. We need to just understand that. But this is the man that claims to have 7 degrees, yet he's dumb as a box of rocks. Like he missed the fact that she was writing about being a disappointment, and in those poems it was not only an admittance to like what she's done, but it was also like an apology, you know what I'm saying, to the people, to the pain I mean, for the pain that she's caused to people and shit like that or whatever.
No, her
Like
mother
one,
specifically. Her mother specifically. Whatever she did,
right.
she didn't. Yeah, she's like whatever she did is no. Her mother feel like it's no coming back.
He was saying like her, he was like, my heart goes out to her, like as if she was the victim. And the whole thing is as if like Ness was a damsel in distress, when in actuality her mother had to kick her out. Her mother, got fed up to the point where we don't know where her the level was for her mother and things like that or whatever. But Ness was admitting in the poem herself, she was admitting that she was like, I know I'm a disappointment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I'm a disappointment. Those were her words. She says, my mother is still hurting from the pain I put her through. So why is Jay Wilson trying to make it seem as though like Ness is a damsel in distress, and she's, you know, that she that she didn't like do
He was trying.
anything.
Everybody see she's scared and running away. She tried to dox my address and thought she was gonna have me out my body. Then I turned that shit on her. So I feel like what Jay Wilson is doing, I'm sorry, Juicy doing, what he always does. He's trying to bait her to hit his link for content.
Right. And Jay will, and that's why I said, I'm not feeling the lazy commentary these days, because I don't ever want, even when I do content creation and stuff like that, I don't ever want to be a content creator that's relying on panels. And that's one thing that I be thinking about when I be thinking about like Lemon, because Lemon, like a lot of people have said, he needs a panel. He needs a panel in order for his show to go on and stuff like that. He needs somebody to carry his show, whether it's Lolo, whether it's Shakira, whatever that Sharika, whatever that girl's name is. He needs somebody to carry his show. There's
Hmm.
no talent that comes from that. So I didn't understand what Trezor was talking about when he was talking about Lemon is the talent. How the fuck is he the talent when he needs a panel? The panel is the talent. The people who are talking continuously every single night making Lemon money, that would be the talent. He's not the talent. Anybody can have a channel and drop the link. That doesn't make you talented. So once again, Treasure the turd is wrong. And I wanted to say with you, Uppity, because there was a question I wanted to ask you. Oh gosh. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, what happened like with you and audio? Like how did y'all like end up falling out?
Well, first of all, we were never friends. That's number one.
Right.
Number two is basically when Ness realized, I told her to get the fuck away from me, and it was I don't want to be bothered with her. She started doing what she normally do, send her minions because she's hurt, and she wants to be like she's like a stage 5 clinger. She doesn't know how to let go, and she expects people to like put up with her, and I don't have to. Even the person that birthed her doesn't feel a need to. So now I'm like really confused as why she wanted to be stuck with me. Like this situation, I had told her on Shakin's panel to go away from me because she called herself trying to make up, and it was no making up. And then she was like, "Oh, well, I don't care. You don't deserve my presence." And some goofy shit like that she said. I said, "Girl, go the fuck away from me in your presence." You know what I'm saying? But she's I've been noticed like she's a hater, but like it don't bother me. Like when I started doing my pink kitchen, people were supporting it, talking about it, pushing it. All of a sudden, she bring this girl out of nowhere. Oh, she cooks, and she got the like throwing like she got the look, bitch. She got to look for her channel. They ain't got shit to do with me, ho. And what she fails to realize, I have my own built-in audience, so I don't give a fuck. And her channel ain't did no better or worse. People sub, but ain't nobody going over there. So, like, what was the purpose? But like I said, she's not a supportive person, but she wants all the fucking support. And so I just like once that incident happened after the Queen 88 said, I said okay. And when she was doing her panels or whatever the fuck she was doing, I made an announcement. I said, I'm not doing panels. I'm not doing no panels. I'm focused on my channel. So after I said that, she went to her page saying, "Oh, I, my people like me by myself. My people like me by myself, so I won't be watching. I mean, I'm not doing panels. Good for you." So next thing I know, that didn't work after a while. She kept trying to come back over to me, and I said no. Then she started putting me on community wall. So I said, I see somebody trying to use me to build their channel up. No, remember you did everything by yourself. It's time to prove you are that bitch you said you was. Chat to my back. And I left it alone. She shared it and I ignored her. Like, I'm not fucking with you. And she, when she seen it was really clear, and like I said, I just kept ignoring those little passive aggressive things and shots she was taking. I totally dismissed Pulp Fiction, who she was sending after me, because like a blind man can see he's a fake thug. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing was believable about that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But she,
how do you feel about audio, like how what happened today with the
oh, I
shooting?
loved it. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Baby, he was over there on hands and knees begging like Keith Swift, please, 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 please let me live. Please, 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 please. And I know that 5150 bitch felt like a fool. He recognized, bitch, I ain't got no backup online or in real life. Let me go ahead and save myself. And that's what he did. But Ken called it right the fuck out, and then he tried to come right back to Lemon Panel trying to be Mr. Tough Guy again, and the chat was tearing his ass up.
I think that people don't understand like how people from California like cuz she's not from Northern California, she's from Southern California like me, and we are a different breed than them weirdos up top in Northern California and stuff. They're like a whole they might as well be a whole nother state cuz it's not the same, but we will call your bluff and we will fly to you, we will drive to you, we will do whatever. So that's a California thing. Like these women are ready to go, everybody's ready to go. And even when me and Ness got into it or whatever, I was like, you need to be careful being out here because this ain't no Miami bullshit, none of that southern country ass shit that you used to. We get down differently out here, and you will get hurt out here. Like on the West Coast, you will get hurt. So you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? And she is a representation of what the like California women
Miami,
are.
that's Miami. We can't really say the South or nothing like that. That's
No,
Miami because
no. I'm talking
yeah.
about Shakima. She's a representation of what West Coast women, how West Coast women
Oh, okay,
operate.
okay, okay,
Cause
okay,
they
okay.
will
I got
pull
you.
your card like, oh, you
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
this?
that's
Oh,
true.
we go like, you know what I'm saying? So he was just like writing a check his ass couldn't cash, and I was like, man, like, why? What do you have to prove? Like, we don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just very, it was crazy, and then it gets crazier because people out here actually have affiliations with every person out here has some type of affiliation,
We're gang
whether it's
gang,
a friend, whether it's a
right?
family
Whether they
members.
grew up in a neighborhood like that, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So it's dangerous for people from California to get into it. Me and Snoop, we both in Southern California. We both in LA and stuff like that. She even talked about she got people from Inglewood families. I know people from Inglewood families. I know people from 60s. I know people from everywhere. We all know people from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was weird for Mr. West talking about he was talking about Hoovers. He's all the way in country ass Texas. We don't even what is he talking about? So it's like everybody wants to be blood, crip, all that stuff. They want to be California, but they're not, and they want to have that energy and shit, but they're not at all. But the whole thing is the whole I
Wait,
was
hold on. Let
gonna
me ask you a question. So you know the areas that they talking about? Because I
yeah
was totally confused. You know what I'm saying?
yeah
Because he was claiming that he lived with his mama, and then when she said she knew where he was at, he claimed, "Oh, I moved. I just moved 3 weeks ago." I'm like, "How your mother picking up and moving every time you get in the beef?" You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like where he's from, we don't even talk about like the area that he's from and shit like that. Like Northern California is a bunch of lames. To me, it's a bunch of lames out there. We don't take them seriously. I don't take them seriously. Now there are places in
Oh,
Northern California that get like, but they're like 8, 10 hours away from LA. That's a whole nother state if you think about it. Like that's not even
right.
that's
Yeah.
Northern Cal. It's California is so huge. So him, Lemon, those are like the weirdos that be up in Northern California. You can't take them seriously. He
Yeah.
can't do that
Yeah.
shit out here in LA. He can't move like that in LA. So I'm like, I can't do nothing but laugh at him because I'm like, you are real. I can't. I'm just listening to this dude, and I'm like, you're gonna end up getting yourself hurt. Like
Right.
because somebody's
'Cause-
gonna
mhm.
somebody's gonna test you, and
Right.
even if it's not in LA or if it's not in LA, but if it's not in California, like you're gonna get exactly what you're looking for. And I
Exactly.
don't know
Can
if
I
he
say this,
ready yet.
Heedy? Can I say
Yeah,
this, Heedy? Because he was over there copping, please, but as the people, once he noticed, like, because I always share her lives out, you know what I'm saying, so people can know, because she tends to take it down, but hopefully she keeps this up for at least a couple of days, right? Because he was even low key begging her to take it down. He was like, "Well, I know you're gonna take this down," but little do he know that she loves binary, so she already said binary can use whatever he wants. But anyway, I should have asked her too, but damn. Anyway, he was over there copping pleas. So after everybody was in the chat talking about it, he gonna talk about he gonna try to clean it up and say, "Well, I'm doing this really for both of our sakes." Now, clearly, her guys know she had a guy online threatening her, and she already said, "Well, you touched down." And I forgot what she said. It's not important. But she was like, "Whenever you touch down, it's on." And so, even though she gave him a plea, and as a woman, she probably took in to see like this is a scary ass kid. We already punked him. He trying to you do what little bit he can to save face. But
yeah.
if her niggas is watching and they see this nigga still trying to pump fake, they might just go ahead on GP. But like
Oh
I said,
yeah.
he's not very street smart. It's clear as day.
He's got to be careful regardless of whatever whatever situation he has with her, or whatever agreement that they made, or whatever it is that, because all she had to do was show him their picture, I mean show them his picture, and whenever they see him they might just approach him.
Exactly.
So especially out
Exactly.
here, they might just approach him and stuff like that. So I'm like, why? I'm like, dude, you don't. I mean, you should already know how people operate out here. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So he's not. I mean, he claims he's smart, but he ain't moving like he's smart, because these people
Right.
are don't exist. This is
She's
not the
moving
real
very
world.
smart. She didn't put nobody directly on camera, and she didn't give no voice. Like they could not put no voice detector up and pick up anybody. So she's moving very smart and honestly. He is a dumbass. And like she told him, he's being sent on dummy missions. Looking next, lining people up. Puh, again. What's up, Sassy?
And that's the thing. Like she is like that. That's what I'm saying. Like people calling Ness like a setup queen. She is a setup queen and stuff like that. But it's not even that. Audio is so impulsive that he will make these stupid decisions, and then the consequences come, and I don't even know if he's ready for those consequences and stuff like that or whatever. Like,
Clearly, he's not. That's clear as day. And like I said, you don't have to be street because I'm not a street person. I've always been uppity. You know what I'm saying? I was more into the dating, nightlife, and stuff like that. But I have brothers, I have cousins. Well, not my. I'm talking about my older brother. He retired years ago. He was doing way too much. My grandma had to send him upstate years ago when he was like 18, 19. She's like, I ain't about to have you up in no jailhouse. Because my brother, he really was a crash out. You know what I'm saying? But he used to
what do
be.
you think? And right, what do you think about Reed? Reed did a live
I
earlier
didn't like
today.
it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like it. I felt like she was straddling the fence. I don't know what the fuck she was calling me
But she
delusional
did
for.
hold both of y'all accountable, though. She did
No,
hold both of
not
y'all
really.
accountable
Not really. She had it
because
totally wrong. I
she
didn't do
did
anything. Huh?
because she did say she gave both of y'all little things or whatever, which is why I can respect Reed's commentary. She gave both of y'all little things, and she was basically,
She was
you
really
know,
pussyfooting around Ness feelings. She really was.
I mean, but she still was like, Ness, you did call CPS on Uppity.
Yeah.
So I
And
gave
she
her
but she
props for
but
that.
she tried to make it seem like that's what it was about. That's not what it was about.
Right.
Of
Well,
course that fed into it, but at the end of the day, she did do that. And because I didn't want to be bothered with her, she made it seem like that was the reason. No, that's not the reason. The reason is she's an unhinged, clingy, needy ass bitch that claims she's
right.
the it girl that built her channel. Nobody helped her. She did it all on her own. But yet she's over there struggling to get views and numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Right.
she had 15,000. They saying that you bought her 5,000 of them. Okay, so that's still
I
10.
bought what the total amount that I bought was like 9,000. It was like
What?
9,000 view 9,000 followers on S's channel. I mean
Uh,
it's 9,000 subscribers on S's channel, and that was to alert YouTube about her platform and stuff. That was not like to make her look good. And she was just having, and if you notice, Ness was having like subscriber parties. Oh yeah, I'm the shit. Fuck y'all. 13K party. 14K party, and I was like, bro, like that's not you.
Oh
I was
God.
talking, even I was talking to China White, and I was like, look, she acting like this is her, like she did something or whatever, and I was like, wow, like no, because she was having 13K party, 15K party, and I was
Right,
like,
I
girl,
remember.
are
Baby.
you
And when it came
stupid?
out that but okay, so that means okay, so Edie is crazy. I told y'all Edie is funny. Uh so that means she had about 6K then on her own, right? So, but she's not even halfway there.
She
And
ended off with about her last subscriber count was about, I think it was, she was at 17,000. So cuz she had 8, she started at 8,000. No, she started at 7,000, and then like it increased to about 17K. So that was all fake. All that shit was fake. And I said, and I always would, when I would roast Ness, I would say, bitch, you still below Pizarro when it comes to subscribers, because Pizarro's real subscriber count is still more than what your real subscriber count is. You're still behind Pizarro. So it was crazy.
right, right. But like I said, she's such a fake bitch. She was willing to try. She was going to try to run with that. You know what I'm saying? Started doing verticals, talking about how she's leaving the B sector. She's above it, and like she like too many. Like girl, then she had all them Russian bots in there. It was a mess.
Right. And if you so what do you think about sidebar, what do you think about Jay Wilson like being critical of everybody else's relationship and financial issues, yet we find out yesterday that Mark's financial woes and his evictions and shit like that. What do you think
Oh
about that?
yeah.
Because he
Uh,
was even talking about you and trying to talk about your living situation. Meanwhile, um, Mark ain't helping him with bills. Mark ain't helping him with shit. He's out here working his ass to the bone. Meanwhile, he's supposed to be retired. He's supposed to be retired. And he can't Mark can't even help him with appliances. And now we know why Mark can't help him with anything, because Mark is broke as well.
exactly. Exactly. But that was always the case. It's like you see how hard he was working on his birthday. Like who's spending their birthday working that hard to move the cash out? You like normally you already got shit set up. You're gonna come through, see your like I understand coming through to see your people for your birthday, so they could give you your well wishes, maybe want to drop your cash out. But like literally, it was like he was planning on his birthday to get a big move so he could celebrate. Like he was really codependent on the cash apps he hadn't even got yet. So him and Mark could go out and have a good time.
Exactly. And he needs to come to the realization that everybody doesn't need this shit. And he needs this. He literally needs this. So I don't know why, because you're not working nearly as hard as Jay Wilson is working out there. And he would look stupid, you or him. So I'm just like, he was doing
Yeah,
so much.
exactly. And me and Nyla is in here. Look how many like my apartment is way bigger than his childhood apartment. That's number one. Number
Right.
two, I have low income housing, which is the waiting list is so long for in New York City. But I'm pretty sure you know that yourself out there. The cost of living is very high. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He couldn't
So
afford it. Yeah.
he couldn't afford New York City either. I know he probably couldn't afford it. Well, he claimed he had a 2 bedroom. No, he said he had a room here. So he already know he can't with the vibes is that he couldn't afford. That's why he had to move way out there and he can't even afford that shit.
Yeah, I remember he was saying that his dream place to live was California, but California is about 4 times what he's paying right now in his on his mortgage, so he can't afford living out here. So, um, I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
but
you.
they said that Mark it was two things. He had an eviction and something about he got arrested for domestic violence.
I
That's what
don't.
I
I didn't really get into the Mark thing because I didn't get a chance to see King Roman's live in its entirety. But my thing is with the King Romans live. King Roman then opened up a whole can of worms when it came
Right.
to Jay Wilson's life, because this is the man that was trying to shit on Rico's situation, trying to shit on everybody's situation. We know that you've been behind on bills. We know that you ain't got it like that. We know that you've been an Uber driver. You had to do ride share and shit like that to make ends meet, and you still didn't make ends meet. So all of this shit that he was talking about, people, and now this comes to the surface about Mark, who don't have it like that. Because I was really trying to figure out, even Tim Blaine was trying to figure out, why do you have a significant other? And first of all, he's not living with you. So something's sketchy about that shit. And then on top of that, he's not helping you with any of the finances. You gotta beg women to support your lifestyle. And
Right.
and do you think, and that's what gets to this question, like, do you think like Jay Wilson is insecure when it comes to women because Mark has had the taste and the feel of puss before, and probably currently? So do you think he feels intimidated because his butthole isn't enough?
Oh, that could be it too. Yes, that could be it. Cause I can imagine if you're dating a bisexual person, you always and you're not. I don't think Juicy is as confident as he want to portray, especially in the dating market. Like that's probably why he's holding on so bad to Mark. He don't want to go back to Grinder and do you got the lube or not? He don't want to go back to those days. But Bobby Play, I didn't see the docs. I don't know if they docs him. I didn't see the Roman live in entirety either, but I did hear some of that part where he was basically saying like, Mark, if you know his last name, you could look these things up. So it seemed like he didn't go into detail. And I heard other people say it. I think Heidi Fly, she had the funniest. Did you see Heidi Fly meme? She
Oh
had
yes.
Mark
Yes.
with all gender love it, holding Tracy holding his arm, and Juicy looking with the mad face, same gender love.
Oh my gosh.
I
Heidi
think they take
Heidi is the shit.
turns.
Heidi is the shit. And she even talked about, like, and I'm like, how are you broke? Not only are you broke, Jay Wilson, but you were just talking about somebody the other day about poor dental hygiene. Meanwhile, everybody's saying that you got bad breath, and Heidi referred to you as chitlin breath. So how are
Oh
you
my god.
talking about people? How you talking about people and you don't have your oral hygiene in order? I don't understand.
Not uncle. I ain't got no issue with you, uncle. But if it's on the streets, we gonna talk about it. Is that how you say? But yeah, Heidi's a Pisces. So I don't. I like. I keep like us Pisces. You just can't. You can't piss us off. And I gotta start watching her live because they said she be going in on his ass. Like
Oh
damn.
yes, she does. What do you think about um what was I gonna say? Like Jay Dunn, I remember Jay Dunn. I think she said something on somebody's panel, or she could have said that on her live. I forgot, but she was talking about how Ness basically Ness basically projects when she speaks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Like
she's
I remember
copying what I said. Yeah, she. That's what I. Yeah, her thing is
anytime
projection. It's clear. Like
anytime
she.
she's fighting with somebody, they're a crackhead, their family
Right.
doesn't love them,
Right.
they're obese, they're fat. It's like everything that she either is or she used to be. That's the way that she will drag you and shit like that.
Oh, she
Like
still
I'm like,
is.
first of all, bitch, if I lost everything today, my family would take me in with open arms.
That
And
part.
I had to turn down money from when my birthday came and shit like that this year. I had to turn down money because I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I come from a family that actually gives a shit about me. I can't say, I don't know what the thing is with her is what people are missing is that every time something happens, Ness is the common denominator.
Correct.
And also, when it comes to her kid, and I mean, or any situation, Ness has to blame everybody else. It's
Right.
always somebody else's fault. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
you ask her about, well, why ain't your kid with you? Oh, well, because that person abused me. Well, that person ain't living no more. Why don't you have your kid? If something happened to her kid today and her kid was taking his last breath, she couldn't get to him because he would be thousands of miles, over 2,000 miles away, and I wouldn't feel comfortable being a parent. And I asked Ness, I was like, well, you claim your kid, because he doesn't live in Georgia, according to her anymore. So wherever,
She claimed he live in Texas now.
yeah. So, and that's still thousands of miles away. I mean,
Hmm.
from Seattle. So I said, well, why don't you live with your kid? I mean, not live in the same vicinity as your kid, even if you can't take care of him. Why can't you? Why don't you live closer to him where you can
Hold on a
get
second,
to
he.
him?
Hold on a second. Miskept secret. Don't be giving J Dummy my credit. That was me. That was me that found it. J Dumb was going around hating, trying not to get people to read it. But go ahead, Haiti.
Oh, I like to shout out Miss Kept Secret. Hey, Miss Kept
Yeah, you
Secret.
didn't see I put on the
What's up?
screen. Your mod is in the building. My
Hey,
boo's in
what's
the
up?
building
What's
too.
up? Now, but what I was gonna say was with Ness was that I asked her, I was like, well, why don't you live closer to, because if anything happens to him, you want to be able to get to him, even if he doesn't live in the same home as you. And she said, well, I don't like the weather out there. I'm like, well, what the fuck,
What?
bitch? You are a mother. What do you mean bitch, it's not about you. This life is not about you anymore. You have a child. What the fuck is wrong with you? So that's one selfish ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hello. And one thing, that's why I always have respect for Demetra. Demetra makes her little stupid ass drags and shit like that or whatever. But I got love for Demetra because Demetra understands that there was situations happening in her life and shit like that. But Demetra's in close proximity to her children,
Right.
so that if anything happens to, if anything goes wrong, she can get to them quickly, and they're in the same neighborhood and everything like that. So I'm like, you don't even want to be close to him.
And as
You
soon as
just
she
don't
got
want the
her apartment, her son
responsibility at
came and
all.
lived right. But hold on, and as soon as she got her place, her son came and lived right with her. She was just posting about how she took him shopping for graduation and graduate, all the good stuff. Like that just comes, that just in you as a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you mess up, you got forever to keep trying to fix it. But this bitch is all about her. And speaking of her son in that poem, did you see the part in the poem where she said that how she was being touched at night? Well, her father and mother slept, her dad and mom slept peacefully. Who the hell was touching her? Who did she tell you she grew up with in the living in the house?
Well, see, that was very interesting because I was like, was it one of her uncles? Because I mean, was it her uncle or whatever? Or was it her? I know it wasn't her brothers. I don't think it was her brothers. I think it was like an uncle or somebody, some older male in her on her mother's side or something. But I think her mother got to the point where she was so pissed off and fed up with Ness. I would bet any amount of money, like, because Ness
Well, I'm
has
not putting
been.
nothing past
I
her brother. That might have been the motivation, but go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna go get the
well,
link for the people that didn't see it. Go ahead, I'm listening.
the only reason I say that is because Ness claims to have such. She had said nothing but good things about her brothers, and I know that there have been relatives. This bitch. You hear me? Oh wait, I think she's getting You hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I was in the I was
Okay.
I was in the
I'm
game.
just
Go
making
ahead,
sure.
listen.
I know that there have been relatives that she has been living, that has lived with her, male relatives like uncles and stuff like that or whatever in the past. But one thing I seen in Jay Dunn's live earlier, Jay Dunn said that she knows because she remembers the live, and I was like, damn. Tell us what the hell the live was. What the fuck are you doing? This is your time to tell us what the hell. But I think that Jay Dunn's probably going to give it to everyone piece by piece or whatever. I don't know how she's going to work it or whatever, but the thing is that she said she knows because she says she remembers a live where Ness was talking about the man who did that or the person who did that. So Yeah. I
Well, Jay Dunn also went around telling people that Ness owned the publishing right and can strike. So I don't know. She kind of slow. I don't know about that one, but I do know. Like I just think it. Like how was like if it's a man in my house, I don't care who it is, but like wouldn't you find something like where she claimed they
Because
was
keep in mind when Ness came back to Miami when we went out there, when we was out there and I left, I went back home or whatever, but Ness was still there. She went to her mother's house and her uncle was staying there. One of her uncles or something like that was staying there with her mother. So I was like, it could have been an uncle, not her one of her brothers, but it could have been like somebody else.
no. When you mean when she went back to man, that might have been as a dove. The way this poem is phrased is like it happened when she was younger.
Right. Right. I'm saying I know that, but I'm just saying that it could have been an uncle or somebody else outside of her brothers. I don't think it was her brothers. One of her brothers, I think it was like an uncle or something like that. I really do because you know those Haitians, they like to like clump up together and shit like that or whatever and live in the same it wouldn't surprise me because that's how her they I remember I think she told me like her family used to like live some of her family members used to live like together and stuff like that or whatever. So
Oh, because I figured like if she did have other family members living there, they got a house with an elevator. I'm pretty sure they had like a multifunctional family house. So you're gonna have elevators and stuff. But did you notice that wasn't mentioned in the poems? Neither anything about going to her doctor's private office or anything like that. So that's why I can't rule the brothers out. It might. I'm serious.
right,
It might be the brothers. And then on
right.
top of that, I think about back when she was trying so hard to get with VS. Like she went through all of this trying to. That's how I met her at Wally's. She was trying to get up under Wally, acting like she was his number one fan, but really she was trying to use Wally to get to VS. And now that's got me thinking because VS had that issue with her brother. You know what I'm saying? Then so I'm thinking that's why she was trying so hard to get next to VS because they were so close. They grew up similar in her mind.
So you're saying that they were like trauma bonding type of thing.
Yeah, context clues, but if you think about it, the more wrong you do her, the more she like you. So that might be why she speaks so highly of her brothers. And she also says it in the poem how like they perfect and she's not. And that could have been put in her head because why would the mother get angry? And even if it was the mother brother and she always speaking highly of her daddy, why wouldn't he step in and say something? Yeah, she wanted the trauma bomb of VS. And when you reject somebody like her, because I know it from personal experience, when you reject her, she gets really nasty and evil.
Right, exactly. I don't know. See that, and I don't want to rule, like you said, I don't want to rule anybody out, and it's a possibility of who it could be. But what do you think about people like Face Yaya who wrote underneath the uh comment section, "Oh well, we already seen that. That's old. That's from years ago and stuff like that." How do you feel about that?
Well, I think they full of shit and they trying to cover for her because first they saying she didn't share that with the internet, which she clearly didn't. It wasn't that many views. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more now. But when I initially did it, I could tell by the screenshot it wasn't that many views. So this is clearly she didn't want it hidden, and I think this is clearly something she don't have the password to anymore, or she'd have took that shit down. That's why I screenshotted it just in
Right.
case.
They were saying stuff like, "Oh well, you know." They were saying like Ness doesn't have to explain shit, but but she wanted Uppity to explain herself about what went down with Nyla that whole night when she called CPS. She didn't even give a chance. She didn't even give Uppity a chance to explain herself. She just called CPS on Uppity. So I just don't understand that
Exactly.
the double
Exactly.
standard and
Yeah,
the
but no, you know
bullshit.
what? They like. I'm not gonna say all of them. I think some of them. I think it's a lot of. As much as there is a lot of weird ass bitches, evil asshole, jealous bitches. There's also a nice amount of women in here that are genuine, caring, and maybe even empath. So I think some of Net supporters are empath because she plays the victim role so well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she does so much. Even they got to be clocking her tea at this point. But then there are some people that look at Ness, and I think it makes them feel better about themselves. So they
Right.
encourage that shit.
I think that, we still have idiots out there like Natural Lux Diva, who is a dumbass bitch and stuff like that. That's going to There's people out there, there's idiots out there that's going to make excuses. We have to call a spade, because even in her own poetry, she admits that she is the fucking problem. Okay, her mother did all that she could do, gave her a home, gave her this, gave her that, and she was the one who decided to be a follower and to try to deal with drugs and all this other shit, because you can't deal in drugs if you're not a follower and shit like that. So I can understand how a Yaya is taken up for Ness when Yaya herself used to be a basehead. Who the fuck decides to do something like that? So that just goes on, you know. And also, let's see, um and people
Hold
was
on,
talking
Miss
about.
Katika said she rejected this around the holidays. Now you know that's a sensitive time for her. That's why she's always alone. And they killed me talking about this is 5 years ago. I don't give a fuck if it's 20 years ago. Clearly, it's the same situation. Every holiday, this hoe is alone on YouTube. And then why did she get so fickle about Mother's Day when she's not raising her son? Either you put him in a better place so somebody else can be the mother, or you want credit as the mother that don't raise her son. Make up your mind, bitch. Go ahead, Edie. I'm
Because
sorry.
she still has a level of guilt. There's guilt there, because regardless if she wants to convince people that the son is in a better place, deep down inside she knows that she's not doing the job and she's not there. So she still feels an emptiness, and she still feels a sense of guilt because of that. And let me remind you guys, based off of our previous conversations, she's in Seattle by choice, because she's no longer in that program, the rehabilitation program, the rehab program that she wanted to disguise as a Christian Bible bullshit retreat. She is out there because she wants to be out there. Obviously, she says she likes the weather on the West Coast better because the weather is dry air, and dry air is not the same as humid air. You know, you can actually breathe out here. Me living in both type of climates, in the past and things like that, I know. But she she's away from her son by choice. So I think that's why she literally drinks herself to death. I think that's why she mm, is on certain pills, have certain mental issues. And I told her plenty of times, I said, Ness, the only thing that is going to fix this situation is if you mend the relationship and you be a part of your son's life. That is the void that you need to fill. You need to fill the void with your son. Whether he's living with you or not, you need to move your ass to wherever he's at. That's what a real bitch would do. That's what a real woman would do. You're trying to do everything, but you're trying to have meetups and all this other
Right.
bullshit. And your son is like literally always thought of last. You're always thinking of him last. And it's just bullshit. He shouldn't have even, why didn't you just have an abortion? That's my question. Because why is he here and you don't even give a fuck about him? That's my thing. And it
That's a
sounds
yeah. You
harsh.
had a choice. You didn't. Well, like, well, I'll bring your kid in here because if you think like she, and that's crazy. She clearly has mental health issues that stem from childhood, and now that's going to be demons her son got to fight, no matter who raised him. Because at the end of the day, he going to want to know why. Because you shouldn't even not introduce yourself to him as a mother. You should have just let him think that lady birthed him. If you was going to treat him like that the rest of his life.
And Lady Dimples brought up a very interesting, because I was like, damn. I was like, see, this is why me and Dimples have we were cool and stuff like that, and why I fuck with
I hope
Lady
y'all can work
Dimples.
that out. But go ahead.
Um, it's gonna take a bit of maturity. No, just like, but no, me and Lady Dimples. This is why me and Dimples was so cool and stuff like that, because she brought up the cupcake, the video where Ness was with her. It was like a short where Ness was with her family and stuff like that or whatever. And her family was she was trying to talk, she was talking to them, and I don't think people noticed that Ness was like being ignored in that video. And then like Dimples brought up the same thing that I was thinking. I was like, they're not even paying attention to you in this video. Like she was literally talking to them like, hey, let me get a cupcake. Hey, trying to have fun with them and stuff. And they're ignoring her. So even her
Right.
own family they weren't even listening to her weren't really talking to her. She was talking to them, but they weren't talking to her. Her own family knows she's full of shit. And oh, and if we was able to interview her family members, the things that they would say about her, it would just be because she swears her
She
mother
would
got her back.
cringe. She would cringe at what they would say. She said it.
Remember, she said that her mother has her back and how she has a village behind her. But clear, I
Right.
mean,
Just
everybody
lying,
loves
lying,
her and
lying,
all this
lying.
other stuff.
This is
Like,
the new nest, though, Hedie. She said
right.
back in the days, like I told Lady Dimples, she said back in the days that her cousins don't want to be seen on her. Remember when I used to argue when we first used to get into it, and I would bring that point up, and then she would start posting these pictures because she was triggered because she knows she used to say that. She used to say it on, like, I remember after Wally kicked her out, and we would go up there, and that's when she was crying about how people don't want to accept women in the sector, and she's so open, and she would tell all these stories, how she would talk about how her family don't really like her cousins is ashamed of her, and stuff like that. And so but the newness now, she getting a couple of numbers, she reinvented herself. And I think what she's really trying to do is build a the supporting cast she knows she doesn't have offline.
But see, that's the problem. The problem is that if you've been here for years, people already know about you. And and Reed was saying in her live today, well, well, Ness could use this and she can profit off this situation. The only way for her to profit, the only way she could profit from this situation is if she's transparent. Clearly, she's not transparent. She doesn't want us to know about her past.
Mhm.
So that's a book is not gonna it's not gonna work because
But
she's
Reed,
gonna
that's
try to
hold on,
paint.
I'm sorry, but she
Yeah,
didn't write a book. It's a thing of poems. I put the
a
link in it.
poem,
That's why
yeah,
I
a
said Reed
poem,
was
of
off.
course.
Yeah.
Right. But she was saying she could turn her Reed was basically making it seem as though that Ness could turn her pain into basically more of a book or whatever it is that she could profit off of her story. And I said, well, her story can only be profitable if she is transparent about her story. She still wants these new people to think that she is just the Queen of Sheba and she is just this person that just has it all together and everything people are saying is a lie, even though she was very transparent when she got here. And that's the thing that you brought up when you was on Dimple's live the other night. You and Dimple, you brought up how Ness has these patterns. How Ness, when Ness is in a vulnerable, these are the patterns of Ness. When Ness is vulnerable, she turns into niceness. When Ness is not vulnerable and she doesn't need you, and she feels as though her numbers are up, her subscribers are up, her views are up, and she doesn't need you, she turns into a whole bitch. And she doesn't know who you are. She doesn't know what you did. She don't know none of that shit. But when she is in a vulnerable state, she wants to be everybody's friend. She wants to humble herself and pretend like she's nice with people. But as soon as she gets back up again, she turns right into that bitch that's ungrateful and all different types of stuff. Even I seen her trying to be cool with Tracy again and shit like that or whatever. And I was like, man, she just trying to
And
be cool
Tracy
with
rejected her, so she really hates Tracy. She can't take rejection.
because Tracy sees through Ness and
Right.
Tracy understands that Ness is full of shit. And she understands that Ness uses people, and that's why Ness never thrives in life. That's why she keeps sinking and she keeps failing every time something good happens, it always fails because she doesn't know how to just be a good person. She doesn't know how to treat people at the end of the day. And there's no good karma that's going to come to you when you just continuously think that you can use people and you can just disregard everybody to the point you even disregard your own son, and you're just always thinking about yourself. Nothing good ever comes to you when you only think about yourself. Notice the selfish people of the world, bad things always happen to them. Look at Jay Wilson. He can't even pay his bills. He don't even have a stash of money in the bank and shit like that. And it's due to the fact of he's always looking out for himself. He always has a clenched fist. And if he understood spirituality, he would understand. I mean, well, I ain't talking about that Jesus bullshit, but I'm talking about true spirituality. He would understand that
I know.
you get good karma from giving. That's how good things keep happening to you because you give. And I heard Pizarro, I heard no, Jay Dunn was saying that, oh well, I use What she say? She was like, "Well, I use my money to control people." No, bitch, I use my money to give to people. I gave to people. You were the one who tried to use your money every single chance you get to control people, just like you gave Lady Nika 10 memberships. The moment that Lady Nika does something that you don't want her to do,
Facts.
you're gonna throw those 10 memberships in her face. Just like you threw that 850 in Pizarro's face when she didn't do what you wanted her to do. You use your money to control people. I'm not no broke ass bitch like you. My money didn't come from no fucking inheritance. I have an inheritance waiting on me if something happens to either one of my parents. But my money it came from me and my hard work, my blood, sweat, and tears and shit like that or whatever. So we're not the same. You are a country bitch, country ass Bama that has gotten, and your money has dwindled down. That's why you digging in. I
Facts.
was like, that's why she's poor. That's why Jay Dunn is poor. People, she got upset and she clicked on Lady Nika's link and she was like, "You don't know what I got in my bank account, bitch."
That should be
19
triggering her
years,
now. It be triggering the hell out of her.
19 years ago, you got an inheritance from your mother. Do the goddamn math. You got a lump sum from your mother. You're not financially literate. So which means you probably just went through that shit. You probably went through that shit, and ergo, you begging people for attorney fees. You digging into your 401k for for simple shit on YouTube. I can go down the list of shit that you had to beg for because you didn't have the funds. Ergo, now you
Clock it.
collecting a AdSense check and shit like that when you was the big bad boss. Ergo, you asking for refunds because for $850. Now, me and Pizarro has got into it several times. I've never asked that bitch for no fucking refunds. Never needed no fucking refund. We are not the same, bitch. We are never the same. So I'm like, here and then you sold that raggedy ass house because you needed the funds. You sold that raggedy ass house in Mississippi, not because you didn't want to drive out there, because you needed the funds. So, like I said, that money she's been chipping away year by year, and that's why people don't think she has a life. Because I see this bitch on sun up to sundown on links. So no, I don't think you don't got it like that, Jay Dunn. And you bragging about another bitch's money, another bitch's hard work, which would be your mother, her hard work. That's why you got the money that you have now. We're not the same. Okay? You brag about, and you had this little retard pass at BET, and now you think you one of the BET workers and
Right.
shit
She's
like
a
that or
DEI.
whatever.
What is it?
You ain't got it.
DIE or DEI worker? She's one of those.
Yeah.
What is it? DIE, right?
Yeah,
DI.
she's one of the slow people that gets people their
Right.
drinks
And
and
now
gets
that Trump
people.
done cut that shit out, she mad as fuck. She claims that she fears Trump coming for marriage that she had no reason to worry about in the first place. It's gonna be her sex machine for life. But I think the real thing that happened was that she got in trouble. No, not got in trouble. That DEI thing happened, and now people know that she doesn't have to be there. She won't. Look who's here. But Jada, she got up great points. The things that you do, no, nobody should mess with their 401k because there's so many penalties with that. So you don't do that unless you need the money.
I mean, but the whole thing is with Jay Dunn is that you talk about my spirituality all the time. You critique my political preferences or whatever, my political views all the time. I say one thing about you and you're up in arms because it doesn't agree with you. Never mind the post, the community wall post that I did siding with you on a lot of different topics and shit like that. We're not going to always agree. That doesn't mean that I'm beefing with you or anything like that, but just I just don't agree sometimes and shit. And I'm gonna call you out the same way that you call me out. Cause I will be in the chat sometimes and you will just randomly just bring my shit up and bring my views up. Bitch, I'm not a fucking Christian. And whatever the fuck it is that you believe in, I want to believe in the opposite. Because you are not a representation of Christianity. You yourself are a devil. You yourself
Right.
is
Hold on, Heidi. Talk
unhappy.
to Jada. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
You yourself is unhappy. You're a representation of just evil, Jay Dunn. So give me a fucking break where you're talking about this goddamn, my goddamn views in Trump country. We are in Trump country right now. And I agree with you when you talked about Sour Patch getting her and get her family up out of here. I believe in that shit. If you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be here. What the fuck is the argument? You're not here. It's illegal. It's illegal for anybody to go to any country I mean, you can't just live in a country without any type of documentation. They're going to deport your ass. That's in any country. So all of this fake ass arguing and getting upset about people who aren't even supposed to be here, who are undocumented, is a crock. So I am happy to agree with you on that. But yes, I do think that you done spent up mommy's check, and I just that's how I feel. I mean, what you want to do about that, J. Dunn? This is my opinion. And if you haven't, who the fuck cares? It doesn't affect me in any type of way, but I'm just saying that's what I feel. Because what bitch with money is going to have to dig into a 401k plan to to pay for basic shit on YouTube?
It's the B sector. You always talk about somebody, Jada. But hold on, Lady Dimple said that Uppity Nest deleted all of the poems. Well, look at here. I get
Oh,
well, it's
so
a
I
good
guess
thing that
they're
I got them all on screen record. I'll upload it. They my content now, bitch.
you just now deleted the poem. And what is it? And that's the question, Lady Dimples. What does Ness have to hide? What does she have to hide? What does she have to hide? If everything is so transparent and we knew all this shit for years, why are you going through so many lengths to delete this shit? Because you wanted us to believe the lies that you told us about your family. You wanted us to believe the lies that you told us about you got a village behind you and all this bullshit or whatever. Well, where's the fucking village? Where's the village when you was getting spit on by your mother? Where's the village when your son was getting taken away from you, and or your son was not getting taken away from you when you gave your son away and shit like that or whatever? Well, I guess you could say the village is Kenneth Blaze and shit like that. But other than that, I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Shout out to Kenneth Blaze.
Shout out to Kenneth Blaze, man, because he stepped up and he was a real man. But my whole thing is that
Or he
why
might
are
be the
you
real
not
daddy. We never know.
why why are you not in the why are you not in the same state as your son? You told me out your own mouth you're not in the same state as your son because you don't like the weather. You don't like the humidity in Texas. You don't like the humidity in Texas because he's not in Georgia anymore. He's in Texas. You don't like the humidity anymore. I mean, you don't like the humidity. You've gotten used to this dry climate, this dry air, and you don't want to go back. It's always about you. It's always about how you feel about everything. It's never been about your son. And a true parent cares about they put their kids first. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Uppity. I don't know.
Oh, let me get the mic. I was going to say, well, hopefully, Jay Dunn, Lady Dimples, y'all got the hard copies. Y'all recorded all the poems. I only got the toxic mother, toxic daughter, and the son poem. But I'm hoping y'all. That's why I gave y'all that link before I went to talking about it because not be unlike Jay Dunn saying I want everybody to do it. And I think well, that just proves my point because it said that she was locked in a week ago, right? And the reason, and she did not share this information. So that means it wasn't 5 years ago. That's still the situation. In the context clues is that she's alone every holiday.
Exactly. And
And
my
then
thing
on,
is
I'm
why
sorry.
did Brooke click on the link on King Roman's live? Why did Brooke click on the link? Part of Ness's PR team, of course. Why did
Right,
she
of
click
course.
on the
You know what she
link?
did, groupie.
Why did she click on the link to help Ness out? And when is Brooke gonna ever come to the conclusion that she is the help and that I told her literally told Ness to keep Brooke around because Brooke is a kiss ass and she's a panel filler. That's why I told Ness to keep Brooke around. I gave her the instruction to keep Brooke around because she is a panel filler and she's a kiss ass. When Brooke
Right.
removed her lips from Pizarro and Brianna's crotch, That's when she started to gravitate more towards Nessa's platform because Brianna and Pazara was treating her like shit, according
Right.
to me and Ness at that particular time. So it was just she has all this smoke for Uppity and wants to debunk everything
Fake
about
smoke.
Uppity, but didn't have any smoke for Ness. Still to this day, we still waiting on the live for
Or
her to address.
anybody else. Or
We
anybody else.
we
Which,
we
but
still
listen,
waiting on the live for Brooke to address her Ness calling Malik a fag. We still waiting on the live for her to address Malik calling I mean Ness calling Malik gay. But Brooke, you don't have no smoke for that. So this is why people don't take you seriously. This is why people laugh at you because the bitches that you supposed to give smoke to, you don't give smoke to, but you want to give energy to Uppity. You want to make Uppity feel some type of way.
and
You
that can
want to
never
make
happen.
you want to fuck with Uppity, but you didn't fuck with the bitch that was coming for your. And then you did disappear. You and Intrinsic conveniently disappeared when 88 and that other girl was coming for what was coming for Ness. You guys conveniently had something to do. Conveniently, very
Mm,
convenient. Both of y'all
mhm.
had something to do. And I didn't argue with Uppity because I remember Uppity was saying, Intrinsic does has family things going on. All of a sudden, Intrinsic got something going on, but she magically came back after the fact. She magically had time after the fact. These bitches
Mhm.
still ain't got no smoke. When they what okay, so let's pretend like Brooke and Intrinsic both had something to do at that time. Where was the smoke when they came back for these
That
two
part.
bitches and shit? That's all.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, everybody's saying I bodied that ugly ass bitch, Brooke. And once it came out that she's a punk that's gonna lie, yell, and scream and deflect, I'm not wasting my time. And then and on top of that, once I see a bitch, I got a bitch, I control a bitch mind. There's no reason for me to say nothing no more. My presence alone get that bitch out her body. Not enough for her to lose weight, but it's still fun to see. But nobody believes her. Like everybody's annoyed, and like I just like to let her play herself. And I already made new rules. I'm not talking to nobody in eviction court. I'm not talking to nobody in bankruptcy court. I'm not talking to no nigga without a job. Like, so there's no reason for her or her fat ass husband. The clumps. They can't talk to me.
Right, and at the end of the day, like Ness still thinks Malik is a fag. Whether she apologized to you, whether she talked to you behind the scenes or not, we both think Malik is an undercover fag. If you really want us to be honest, I seen a message the other day. If you go to Lemon's live from I think it was the other day or 2 days ago, Malik was in the chat saying he had to send Lemon a super chat just to get some attention, and it was like $1 super chat, $1.99, and he was like, so you just gonna ignore my messages? That's
Hold
something a
on a
bitch would
second.
say.
Hold on a second, Hitty. Nobody blocked J Dunn. She probably just stopped typing. I didn't block J Dunn. Only thing I went
Who?
to go look at something on Instagram real quick that I was tagged in. I didn't block her.
Malik wrote under on Lemon's comment section. He was right. He sent him a super chat. He said, "So you just gonna ignore my messages?" That's something a woman would say to a man. Like what?
Right. He's a
What?
whole groupie. Oh, MB is sick of him. I think MB is getting sick of him. Did you see the other day about that pull-up situation? And then, but something happened. I guess Malik being him, like the clumps. They both the same. Like people now, people are starting to see what I'm talking about. They both try to run game, but now that they realize they ain't gonna get no cash shots from nobody because they done begged and ran all type of scams. So that's out. So now they going for the next best thing, attention. They do anything but pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? Or get on a treadmill or take their son to the park. So he at least won't grow up to be big and sloppy like they ass. But anyway,
Facts.
so MV was like, yo, because Glitter Boost was over there talking grimy and greasy about MV. But just the other day, Glitter Boost was talking grimy to Malik. But because I guess Malik was the first person, we talking about Pulp Fiction, and neither one of these niggas are B-sector, let's be clear. So we talking about Pulp Fiction. Malik was on bended knee. He used the envy to pivot so Glitter Boost won't be on his ass no more. Now you scared of a nigga that can't even walk. You know what I'm saying? He was talking all that stuff. Glitter Boost was like, I'll come to your city. You can come to mine. Malik talking about he was coming down there. Next thing you know, Glitter Boost was up there dragging MB, was supposed to be his friend. He up there joining it, egging it on, talking shit. So MB called that shit out. He went up there trying to deflect, and MB let him do all that. He was like, listen, the chat don't know what we talking about. They don't care. I want to talk about this situation. And he kept trying to deflect. MB was like, wait a minute, let me just ask the chat that. MB just kept focused. And then he wouldn't be a man and stand on nothing. He kept trying to make a joke out of it, do that same bullshit, backpedal and pussy pop. And Leak is a bitch ass nigga. Period.
Exactly, exactly. And I was going to there was something God, there was something I was going to I'm trying to figure out what I was gonna say. Cause there was a question I remember I was going to
Oh, why you think of it? And Lady Dimples, I think the reason why Ness probably deleted them poems because she realized YouTube ain't removing them. Jay Dunn, hear me clear. She don't own shit. It's just like I told you. Every time, look, you said you know the YouTube guidelines so clear. YouTube says when you upload videos on their website, they can use it however they see fit. They own it. You do like you own it too, but they have more ownership than you. They can take your video and put it on any website they want to, sell it to any company they want to. That's standard contracts agreement when you go to these sites because we do not own that. We're not paying for the website. We're not getting the sponsorships in. Only thing we are doing is using the benefits of their work. So you think they're gonna give us all that for free? No, it comes at a cost, and the cost is they own this property as well. Like if our video get picked up and they want to put it in a movie, they are not hitting us up. They are hitting up YouTube. Go ahead, Hedy.
now this is the thing I was also gonna ask because I remember I was watching you and Dimples live from yesterday, and it was just such a powerful live, and I enjoyed the live. I really did enjoy the live. I actually watched it more than once. That's how much I enjoyed the
Oh,
live.
okay,
So it
that's
was
what's
great. You
up.
guys were just dropping so many gems. I just couldn't catch them all, man. But when it came to Cold, now I remember you saying something very interesting, Uppity. You said Cold is using Pizarro the same way he did Brianna last year, and I wanted you to elaborate on that.
Yeah, he's doing the exact same thing. What I would tell Lady Dimples is this. The only difference is now, and then she's reacting the same way if you notice. The only difference is now because of the backlash that he got, not so much that people cared about computer back, because she brought that shit on herself, just like Pizza did. Oh, turning on their own chat, popping shit at their own chat, just because they voice them, that's their man and they ready to fight for them. But meanwhile, they mans is they man and they gonna fight for them. Like she was over there fighting for Retro tooth and nail, and Cole said, "I'm backing out." Retro said, "I'm with you, man." Meanwhile, she's over there trying to grovel together to keep that $25, and at the same time trying to hold Resto down as her online husband. And Computer Back did the same thing. But when they were trying to get rid of Computer Back, you seen the obvious disrespect, and she acted just like she didn't see it, just like Pizza did when they was over there playing in her face, sitting on Roddy, talking cash money shit about her. And then, you know what I'm saying? She's still talking about, I don't care what they say, I'm still sticking with her. And Computer Back would go in Cole's chat and she'd be like, oh, let me get the link. And he'd be like, nah, we're not doing the link. You can't get the link right now. It's just me and MB right now, MBK. Like, you know what I'm saying? Idiot. But remember before, anytime she want the link, Queen Bree, let's stop everything we doing. Like they did all that shit while she was building their shit. They know that she has low self-esteem and they was feeding into that shit. You know what I'm saying? But when it was time to let go, they was basically, you know how you dating somebody and that person's all hot and heavy while you dating, then the minute you sleep with, well, I don't know this personally, but I'm just saying, just to give a like example, you really like somebody, then you let them sleep with you, and then they used to answer your every morning, hey beautiful, and then the minute they sleep with them, it's like, they not texting you no more. So you texting them good morning, and then they not answering, and then you calling their phone, and then they not answering, then you just popping up, and they're like, I'm kind of busy, come through later, and then you keep doing that same thing. Eventually, they block your number, and you popping up like, oh, are you getting my call, bitch? Get the fuck away from me! I don't like you. Like that's what they did to her. Now with Poverty, they're doing the same thing, but they're just not. I don't think they're gonna do the bitch get the fuck away from me. Instead, this time they're trying to make it feel like she's actually doing the breaking up. Like, oh, you don't want to compete in the first lady that I told you was contest. Oh, so that means it's okay. We can still be cool, but we can't be like that no more because you're right. You're right. That was disrespectful. And I see why you don't want to be bothered with me no more. Like, you see what I'm saying? They trying to make it seem like she's actually the one ending it when in actuality they did, versus how they told computer back, get the fuck away from you, fat sloppy bitch. You know nobody's not attracted to you. Look at how you look. You know, blah 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 blah. You was a lick. Get over it.
You know, these guys really remind me of triple gay X. Triple gay X. They really
Oh, he did
remind
them
me of
dirty too.
him
Ooh, they did him dirty. Every
because
nigga they get do them dirty.
he was, like I said, these men, whether they're DL or whether they're wanna be straight, whatever they call themselves or whatever, they will literally use these bitches to get
Official Pink
in,
sucker
to
do
get what they
too.
want.
He really want to be on
Of
Roman
course.
team,
I mean, his channel
but
wouldn't
he
be
can't.
shit without
Yeah, I don't think I don't think
until the
Roman team wants
moment.
him in the optics. You know.
Right. Until they started like literally supporting ODS, that was when he started to get like numbers and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah, because he wasn't getting
ODS
no
was
numbers
now
in his stuff though.
I was at one point in time like I was getting more. I mean, clearly I can get. I mean, get more numbers than ODS. I was getting more numbers than ODS, but I didn't have a panel show. ODS has a panel show. Lemon has a panel show. And of course, people are going to tune into panel shows because they want to know what's going to go on. But when they're by themselves, nobody gives a fuck about anything they have to say. And that's my thing with that situation. But I'm just so like I mean with Pizarro, like I've already given up on her because I'm like you want people to think that you got some master plan and like you're so like you have this thing where you just know what's going on and like you controlling everything and shit like that when in reality they're controlling you, and not only are they controlling you, they're literally lowballing you and giving you pennies and shit like that.
Facts.
Meanwhile he giving you this and that or whatever, giving you this amount of shit like that or whatever. So now you back to nickels and shit like that. Now you back to scraping for pennies, and you over here defending dudes for pennies and shit like that or whatever. These are pennies. Cause this ain't nothing to what I was doing and shit like that. So that's when I shut down. See, my self-esteem ain't on Brianna's level. Will never be on Brianna's level or whatever, because I don't look like a Brianna. No disrespect. My self-esteem ain't on Pizarro's level or
All
anything like
disrespect
that.
over here,
Cause
bitch.
I don't look like Pizarro. I don't look like none of these bitches or anything like that. I don't look like none of these low self esteem dudes or anything like that. But when I feel like you're not appreciative of what I do, I'm gonna shut my shit down. So I shut my Cash App down and all this other stuff. And oh, okay, well, let's see what you do. Now you're inviting dudes over to nickel and dime you to send you pennies and shit like that or whatever. You got Shakima. She went live and she literally we already know about Ghetto because Ghetto begged me not to not even to dox him, but not to expose what I saw about him because I know about his pedo uncle or whatever, what cousin, uncle, one of them. I have to go into my notes, but I already knew about that. But the black sector,
Damn, for real. And he
but
tried to make
yeah,
it. He said that
he
girl was
begged me
lying.
not
And
to,
look
and this
at a
for
second
free.
confirmation.
This is for free, which I don't need none of his money because I make more than him. But the thing is that he begged me not to expose shit about him, and I'm like, dude, stop coming on here saying you rich, because first of all, you ain't making no six figures. You're lucky if you making five figures. That's what you're making. Not only that, you owe on back taxes. You still ain't paid your back taxes off. ZX then went through your whole damn thing with the back taxes. Not only that, you go to your state and shit like that or whatever, you could see all the back taxes and shit that you owe if you know how to look that shit up and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, like this dude, this is the same dude. And that's why I said on the internet, you could portray yourself as anything. Meanwhile, this dude telling people he rich and he ain't got no money like that. We seen the raggedy ass house that his business, that this business that he has on the side is linked to and shit like that, that raggedy ass house and stuff like that. It's just so much stuff. It's just so sad. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that because I don't have no problem with ghetto, but I'm like, man, stop coming on here lying to people. Okay? Because Shakima made a point and she was like, well, if you got it like that, first thing you would do is fix your mouth. And we know MBK has a fucked up mouth. We know MBK grill is fucked up, which is why when he takes pictures and shit like that, his fucking he ain't never showing his teeth because his teeth fucked up. So that whole thing is going on. You know what I'm saying? And when you got money, you fix the things that need to be, you take care of the priorities first and shit like that or whatever. So it's like, why you talking about all these people when your shit's not together? And that's my thing with certain individuals.
Yeah, it's a lot of freaking hypocrites over here. It's crazy to me. And but ghetto, I knew that lady was telling the truth. How she because like she said he came over there and how he kept trying to avoid my questions. Like he was shamed and I believe that lady was telling the truth. But I'm happy that he denied it on the panel because she said that if he deny it, she's gonna put the receipts out.
And the women have more, and what we have to learn in these particular realms is that women have more heart than these men. You know what I'm saying? We don't expect men to go after men. We expect men to go and argue with women all day and shit like that or whatever, claiming that they get bitches, but they arguing women all day. We expect a man like Mr. West to have Lemon's name all in his mouth all throughout the day. We expect Mr. West to be on Tulsa's panel. We expect Mr. West to be stalking all the transgender women and stuff like that, you know. And Mr. West just really needs to come out the closet. He's another lemon hiding in the closet and shit like that.
Immediately.
And at this point, like we just waiting on these women to like we're waiting on these women to like stop the charade because it's starting to get weird and shit like that. I mean, after the whole touching on and even I'm even looking at audio are you gay too? I'm
Yeah,
really
of
looking at
course
him
he
like
is.
that
Come on now. Of
because
course he is. Let's be clear here. That
because
man is not straight.
sometimes the conversation don't even be about him, and he will click on a link and like literally cape for his man, and it's like it looks kind of gay. It really looks kind of gay because like why you caping so hard for Lemon? You don't even know this man. I mean, and then it
Well,
look
he
kind
tried
of
to throw Lemon under the bus at Shakima house, I guess, to seem straight. But I know Lemon don't care because I know once Lemon seen that shit, he probably was on grind the very next minute looking for another trade. Like this nigga
and
ain't
what
right.
is audio's excuse for Lemon being on Grinder? Because we know that Grinder is where the men find other men to hook up with. So where is his excuse? Because he's
Oh,
trying to make it.
they said Lemon took Cold Monster because of that.
Yeah, because Lemon, because even if you look at Rick Reed's live when he went at Lemon or whatever when that Grinder thing happened, he was like, man, he was like, just admit what you are. But he said, I understand why you're not admitting what you are because you're using these women for money and shit like that or whatever. So that's why you're
Bingo.
not gonna admit,
Bingo.
that's why you're not gonna come out the closet because once they find out that you are truly gay, you afraid that they're gonna take your money and
And I
shit
don't
like
think that's
that.
the case. Them girls over
No,
there
I
are
don't.
desperate. When I tell you they desperate, can't none of them convince me they a bad bitch. Can't none of them convince me they got a daddy in their life. Can't none of them convince me they got shit going on in life in general. Those girls be out here like recruiting people for his panel, like doing everything they can, paying for his whole life. Like it's weird. And he lives in the goddamn project, but they'll turn around like, you have government assistance. I said, no, I have low income housing, just like Lemon.
Right, Lemon is living on government assistance, and let's be real. Like him and Shakim, they were going to live together in California, which they denied. Remember when I put that out there? They denied. They at first they denied it before they got into it. They denied that Shakim was going to move to California to live with Lemon. But I was like, they trying to live together so that they can be fucking on each other and stuff like that. Like it was going to be a real relationship type of thing, but you stupid ass bitches didn't understand that or whatever. And what I really need a straight women to I really need what straight women to do. I need them to get they gaydar, You know what I'm saying? Get their gaydar in order, because there's
No,
so
they need
many
their
DL men.
self-esteem.
There's so many DL men that's running through these parts, and that will act like they're so appalled with the stuff that you Lemon is doing, and they'll be right on his panel, hanging out with him, kicking it with him, all different types of stuff. And that's like I said, I said that's where the DL men go. I said the Lemon's panels where DL men go.
Facts.
And if you look at Malik, Malik is very questionable now, and still to this day, because it was Ness that was saying to me, she was like, I don't care if Brooke feels some type of way. I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna talk about Malik. That's what Ness said out of her mouth. She said she's gonna go live and talk about him. She said Brooke can just be mad at me, but I gotta say this. So this was coming out of Ness's mouth, Brooke. While you over here always trying to get on uppity and shit like that, bitch, you will never be the center of attention. Nobody will ever be checking for you, bitch. You got evictions every fucking where. I don't understand a bitch and you're not even in our age bracket. Let's start there. You're not even in our age bracket, and you're supposed to be the bitch that has more sense and more knowledge and more intelligent than us. And you have a bitch that's younger than you telling you're in your 40s. We're not in our 40s, and you're telling and they're telling somebody in their 30s is telling you what to do and shit like that or whatever. This is very sad, Brooke. You're looking very stupid. Malik isn't very ugly, so I understand why you don't really give a fuck about him like that or whatever. And you're just waiting on the next best thing to come along. But at the same time, the woman that you should be coming after, you didn't give no smoke to. Ness called your man a fag. And now you got everybody looking at Malik a certain type of way. We was looking at Malik a certain type of way a long time ago. The way that he communicates with Lemon in these chats, the way he talks to Lemon, even the other day, it was just very suspect. So yeah.
Everything about him is suspect. He gives off power bottom vibes to me. Like the fact that you was on a panel and then holding down the panel for 30 minutes for a nigga that said they was gonna put your wife on the blade. But then again, she's been on back page over here up north. So, it ain't nothing new. He's just like, ugh, like he just looking, I don't know, child. But like I said, they don't really, yeah, that's what it, yeah, basically. Yeah, but Pills is that guy. So she's always looking around, but nobody wants her. Like she's trash. Like no education, no body, no face, no nothing. Just nasty individual. And then she digs in it. And then she look, you see her digging in the dirty clothes for a dirty bra to put, like everything about her is nasty. Girl won't even turn her camera on. But anyway, no more. Ever since the B, like she can't even handle the B sector, and she's kissing up Ness ass because she don't got shit going. Now, if Ness is your future, that tells you exactly what you got going on for your life.
Well, that's very high hopes for her, because you got to think about it. If you're banking on the success of your virtual life, virtual channel to be a success, you're banking on that by following Ness. Ness's channel has went down. Ness's whatever she had has went down. She no longer has that anymore. So all you bitches that's saying Vanessa for life, all y'all looking stupid right now. Intrinsic is looking dumb at like a follower who's trying to belong into something. The black sector already then rejected her and shit like that. The beef sector then rejected her and shit. Intrinsic is literally in limbo right now. She would like to call herself beef sector, but she is not beef sector. I mean, the bitch ain't never put in no, she ain't never put in no goddamn work and shit like that or whatever. She didn't even put no work in the black sector. I don't know what the hell, what type of delusion these bitches. Just because you are associated with somebody who is beef sector does not make you beef sector. People have to understand that. That
Right.
needs to
Pope
make
Picture was
sense.
over there telling her, Shima, that he was the youngest guy in the B sector. I'm like, what B sector he talking about? He must mean he the youngest Vanessa. That's about it.
Yeah, Ness will blow smoke up her people's ass just so they can stay loyal to her. But the moment they get into it with her and they fall out, Ness is gonna remind them you're not beef sector. Watch her do that. Watch her do that and shit like that or whatever. And she always shows her disloyalty to Brooke any chance she gets, she comes at Brooke. anytime she feels like it, she comes at Brooke, and she always pokes at Brooke, and Brooke doesn't even be noticing it because she's such a punk ass bitch, and she's such a fucking follower and shit like that or whatever. She doesn't even notice all the times that Ness has poked at
She
her,
notices.
and
She
all the
just know
times
better.
and
She
all the times
notices.
that Ness has all the times Net and remember Brooke was supposed to be doing a live to address Ness for calling Malik a fag, and she did not do a live. She said, "Oh, well, we talked behind the scenes." How many times have you talked behind the scenes to Ness, and she still came out here and disrespected you, bitch? You had to kiss the ring. You are a bum bitch, and you are a follower, Brooke. Nobody will ever respect you, bitch, because you didn't have no energy for Ness. So why the fuck you coming at Uppity when you ain't got no energy for the bitch who called your man a fag? You know what I'm saying? So you and Malik are two bitches. And the way that you got that fag over there in Lemon talking to you, Malik, you a bitch too. But I already called your ass out plenty of times on my platform and shit like that or whatever. But Malik's a whole bitch. He did all that wondering about Lemon's grinder and asking him all these questions about grinder. And these little DL dudes around here, they be asking Lemon questions about his activities, and then they be sticking around him. So it's like, are you asking for yourself, or are you asking just to ask? Those are the questions I be trying to figure out. But yeah.
Uh, Hold on. Well, Ness doxed me because I don't want to help her page and I don't want to be her friend online. Hey, Vibrant Love. But you know what Malik tried to do? You got to remember at the time that he tried Lemon, everybody was on his neck. You know what I'm saying? So he thought he
Right.
was about to start a page, and all the people that didn't like Lemon was going to go over there. That's what just like she thinks she's going to hit links and then go to her page and start up a live, and all my haters are going to go over there. It's just not working out for them. People don't like them, no matter who they're talking about.
And shout out to Vibrant, because Vibrant is my Vibrant, but it's just I be wanting to be upset with Vibrant, but Vibrant will not let me be upset with her, and that is just crazy. But I enjoy Vibrant and all this other stuff or whatever, and that type of thing. But I just but you know Uppity,
Vibrant knows
what
how to move. The only time I seen Vibrant say anything when she the one person I guess she can't take is under new management. Hey, under new management, if you see this, yeah, Vibrant don't like her, but I love some Vibrant. She be everywhere, so she know how to move. She know how to move. Trust it, she be everywhere. I be seeing her, and she got mod sticks all over, so she's loved all over.
right.
Yeah, limit. I only watch him on certain times, depending on what he got going on. But I can't watch him every day, all day. Can't.
And
I don't even talk about it.
there's something else that I was going to. Oh yes, Brooke needs to come to the realization that wait, was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, Ness came back into the B sector from her hiatus. Uppity was over there along with a lot of other people, myself and other people, Ray J. Dunn, Pizarro, holding it down over there, bringing numbers over there and shit like that. Pizarro was a major component. Brianna, Uppity, Jay Dunn, major components and things like that or whatever. What Brooke needs to understand is that Uppity is the original co-host of Ness's platform. So there is no dragging Uppity. There is nothing you can ever say to try to make yourself seem like you're better than anybody. Bitch, you have evictions all over the fucking place. You have a court records all over the place. Malik has court records all over the place. Some had involved domestic violence when it comes to women and shit like that or whatever. So it's just like, why are you trying to compare yourself to Uppity? Ness knows the value. We've talked about this. I keep telling you this, Brooke. You keep being stupid, but I'm gonna help you. Ness said we both said to each other that Uppity is more valuable than you. Uppity is more valuable than you. Uppity brings something that you will never bring. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to audition for a spot at Ness non-existent channel, because I don't know what you auditioning for. You might as well go back to Pizarro
Yeah,
and
exactly. No,
Brianna.
that's why she paid me to be on her panel, and you got to kiss her ass and fight all these. Well, you don't fight nobody, but you got to go up there, kiss her ass, and be and get dragged all around anytime, be her punching bag, just to be able to sit there and call yourself a Vanessa with a mind state. We're different, ho. Get into it.
Because we
What's up,
know that
Murphy boy?
uppity, we know that uppity is gonna bring the controversy. We know that uppity is gonna bring the drama. We know that Brooke is not gonna bring anything but let me kiss your ass and let me tell you everything that you want to hear. Bitches don't respect you when you tell them what they want to hear. Bitches only respect you when you keep it real with them, and you're not a real bitch, Brooke. So that's the problem. That's your problem, Brooke. You will always be Ness will always disrespect you. Any chance she gets, she's gonna disrespect you. I'm just telling you that right now. She already disrespects you and ran and just walked all over you. You her doormat, bitch. You are her doormat. And you over here worried about uppity. You need to be worried about the bitch that you keep caping for. Cause you look stupid as fuck when you was on King Roman's panel today talking about
That chat was tearing
how
her ass up. I was dying.
how that poem was random and how the poem wasn't and how uppity started. It's always in the people who enable Ness is why Ness ain't winning in this day and age. It's why Ness keeps on losing. It's why Ness all every time gets something, she loses it very quickly. And there's a reason for that. It's because the way that she treats people, it's because of the way that she operates and things like that or whatever. There's a I mean it Ness always fails at every, and even Jay Dunn pointed that out in her live, giving props. She fails at everything that she does. She failed at high school, couldn't even get a fucking diploma. She failed when it came to she didn't she graduated. Well, she claims she went to school for something, but I mean, if you don't
She
go
went to
for
Job Corps. She went to Job Corps.
she went to Job Corps, yes, but she claims she went to college for, I mean, some sort of school. Let's not even call it a college, but she went to school after Job Corps for culinary. The bitch can't
Oh,
even
she took a
cook.
trade. Okay.
Yeah, she can't even cook, and it's like this is what you're looking up to, Brooke. Oh, you're probably in a different tax bracket, even with
Hold on,
all
Heidi.
your
Did you find up a
additions.
certificate like that? Did you look it up like you had to help Mr. Coswell out? Because like I remember that she used a seasoning packet for beef stew. That is like the most basic dish as fuck. So somebody that went to culinary school knows how insulting it is to use a packet of seasoning to make beef stew. That's literally something you're supposed to build. Like, and you went to culinary school? Like, she's lying. Just like that elevator that didn't exist.
I mean, if you let Ness tell it, she's a life coach. This is the lady who gets spitted on by her mother. She's a life coach. Just type in her email address. She's a life coach, and she's a chef. She's a culinary, whatever, and she's an executive. You know what I'm saying? Which is nothing more than a supervisor and shit like that. A
Right, right,
synonym for a supervisor.
right.
That could be a supervisor for anything. That could be a supervisor for Taco Bell and shit like
Right,
that.
exactly. We all
But
know how people like to judge up a resume. That's what you do.
I'm like, and then we're like, what are you executive for? Because clearly you scrambling around here for money. You want us to run all the way over to Patreon, and you didn't even calculate the numbers right so that you can actually get a profit from Patreon because you wanted us to pay more for our memberships on your platform than on your Patreon, which is not good marketing. Whoever told you that was an idiot and stuff.
You
And
did
that's what I'm
say that.
saying.
You did say that.
She don't have a PR, a real PR team, because at one point in time I was her PR team. She has nothing but a bunch of idiots around her, a bunch of idiots that work for somebody else, a bunch of idiots that work a 9 to 5 job that don't know how to control shit. See, I'm the individual who knows how to control shit. I know what marketing is. I know how to bring people and shit like that. Ness doesn't have that anymore. Intrinsic is a low life. She doesn't bring shit to the table. Not that she's a low
Okay.
life, because she has a house at least, but it's
Right.
cheap ass Texas. Anybody can afford that,
True.
where she lives. But and Brooke is a
You
low
can get a house for
life
10K
because
out there.
because here she is bragging about her being married, but she has all these evictions. But if you notice, when Malik speaks on Brooks' evictions, he and anything that involves Brooks' wrongdoings, he always says, "I had nothing to do with that." He has
Just like
nothing to
he ain't had
do
nothing to do with Bill and
the
Rita came to pull up.
he
He ain't
has
had nothing to
nothing to
do with
do with
that.
the
How
Rita
you know wife gonna
situation.
get pulled up on you hitting pen and talking about they ain't got nothing to do with me? He's a power bottom. Go ahead, Edie.
He has nothing to do with Rita. He has nothing to do with Brooks scamming that bitch for $50. He got nothing to do with Brooks evictions. He just always has to separate himself from his so-called wife. And he's never holding his shit. He's never holding that bitch down and shit like that or whatever. It's always Brooke against the fucking world. And that's why Brooke is going to be on the next train to fucking fuck on somebody else, because Malik ain't never, and Brooke ain't got no respect for Malik. Brooke will be fucking on somebody else. Y'all mark my words.
She
Brooke is
is
on her
already. She
way.
was on back. He knew she was on back page. Like he's both of them trying to build a relationship with pills. He want to be pills and she want to fuck him. It's sick.
All right. And I mean, if she's that, even that desperate to
And she
go to
don't
that
realize
route.
pills never found her attractive. Like she don't get it. Like pills. I had left his live. Oh, did you see Peter Panel Killer? One of the next supposed to be other enforcers. That nigga.
Who?
Mo
Who?
better. What's up,
Oh,
boo? That's a
oh,
yeah.
oh,
That's another West Coast person in
oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
building.
yeah. Mo Better. Yeah. I love Mo
I
Better,
love me
man. She
some Mo
cook,
better.
man.
Mo better. You gotta check out Kima Live boo when you after this live, of course. But yeah, it's sick how both of them be on pills sick.
Wait,
And
wait.
she really
But
think that
who
he
is the
likes her.
other enforcer? Because I didn't hear that.
Peter Panel Killer, one arm
Oh,
P.
yeah. Oh, shit.
You see, and then he had the nerve talking about he looked like Bougie Bonton. I wanted to slap the shit out of him, and I don't even fight guys. That shit pissed me the fuck off. But y'all know I love you so Bougie.
If you really
Um,
want me to be honest, I think that Peter Panel Killer, like, I don't really know him like that, but I think that I'm like, why? I went to his channel because I remember Pizarro shared his live, and I'm like, why y'all keep this is like everybody's
and,
wondering why is
and
the beef
he
sector
bragged about not giving her no money. She just
right?
child.
But this was the same girl that was trying to give. Let me just shut up. But she's
But to
stupid.
be fair, one RP he ain't got it to give. But whatever,
Yeah,
still.
I
You don't
mean,
do that with the people that's been in supporting you and they be in your chat crying about not reaching 1K, not getting
but
no shares.
the
But they
person
always
who
want
gets the person who's always going to get the last laugh when it comes to a situation like Pizarro will always be a person like myself, because I wasn't nickel and diming anybody, and on top of that, I don't need you to have a banging live and shit like that. I don't need to have a panel to have a banging live. I don't need to have any of that energy to have a good live and shit like that or whatever. But even the people that you sharing out, they ain't even hitting 1K on your with your shares out and shit. So that means that they have to be bringing something else. You have to have to actually bring something to the table outside of just being just being associated with somebody. If your channel ain't shit and you just boring as fucking shit like that, Pazal can share you out a million times and you won't hit even 1K. You won't
that
even hit
part.
1K. Look at Resto. Ain't nobody going over there. Look at Peter Panel Killer. Look at Peter Panel Killer.
Please.
We ain't going. Look at
Right.
Big Rigs. We not going over there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, did you see how
So
she did Big Rigs? Oh,
I'm just saying. Well,
no, I'm
no, wait,
talking about
how's she doing it?
Shakima. He dropped down in Shakima chat. I don't even know. She was like, "You get out of here. I don't like you. You a punk."
Yeah, I mean, man, it's like
Even he catching strays.
they not bringing nothing to the table. They lives suck. I'm like, damn, Peter Panel Killer, you sitting in all these fucking lives. You ain't got no fucking, you ain't got 30 minutes to give us. You ain't got 40 minutes to give us a commentary. The only thing you got is to play some whack ass music with your old ass. I got better things to do. I clicked in his shit and I clicked off his shit. Like I
Oh, you
said,
better than me. I ain't never clicked on his channel
they promoting
ever.
nothing but I want to see what it's about. And I'm gonna give people a chance and shit, but it's boring. Cole's lives is boring. If he don't have a panel, his shit's boring and he ain't got shit to talk about. If the chats never existed, then these dudes wouldn't have shit to talk about. ODS wouldn't have shit to talk about
Right.
because they use literally feed off of the chat. They literally watch the chat. If they don't have commentary, they'll literally look at the chat and they'll talk to the chat. That's not commentary. That's not a content creator. That's not creativity. That's not originality.
Oh, but
Lemon the
oh,
same way. Lemon the same way. He don't have 30 minutes, 40 minutes to give his audience by himself. He can't even, just like Pizarro said, and a lot of us have already said, Lemon can't go live without somebody to feed off of, without a person on his panel. He don't have any kind of talent. He don't bring shit to the table. And I don't deal with Sir King, but I can say that Sir King can go on by himself. He don't need somebody to hold his
barely,
hand and shit like that or
barely,
whatever.
barely. He can't go on too long for himself by himself without having an asthma attack. Fat funky bitch. But anyway,
Mhm,
what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, with the one arm P, right? Now
mhm.
remember how much shit he was talking about Lemon, but now that Ness is down, he was over there trying to kiss Lemon ass, but Lemon just annoyed him, and as he should be like, it's clear now the next channel was going down. Y'all, oh yeah, now y'all trying to get back in good with the people y'all was just talking shit about. Lemon wasn't shit. Then now you on his link trying to be nice so you can have somewhere to go and hit a
Well,
link, bitch ass
keep in
nigga.
mind, Uppity, that a lot of people was not banking on Ness's channel to go down. I
Right.
warned Ness a month before her channel went down. I told her, I said, I said to Ness, I said, you know, those same people that you have around you, just watch them. If something ever happens to your platform, watch them. Because you thinking that you are the shit, you thinking that nothing can happen. I said that none of this shit's gonna last forever. These channels don't last. So you're over here, talking to people in any kind of way. Watch how they treat you when your channel goes down
But
and shit
look, but
like
she
that.
was on
And let's see
Patreon,
if you
Doc.
can rebuild. Let's see if you can rebuild without me. Let's see if you can rebuild the same way that when before I met you, because before I met you, you weren't getting no fucking numbers. Let's see if you
Right.
can do that without me and without a lot of other people, and that type of thing or whatever. Next thing you know, her channel went down and she's over here trying to make up with Tracy. Just the week before, she was talking shit about Tracy. Just the week before, she was calling Tracy all kind of names and shit like that, trying to step all over Tracy because Tracy's channel was down. And Lemon
Mhm.
was over there allowing it. So that's why I look at Tracy crazy and shit like that, because I'm like, well, why are you doing all this caping for Lemon when he ain't even shared your shit out? He didn't even share your shit out when your channel was down. But every time you turn around, Tracy's trying to cape for Lemon. She's trying to take up for him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, no, not too much of my Tracy now. But Tracy,
No, Tracy is my Tracy too, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna call you out when you're not making no sense.
well, yeah, I don't know. She could, I don't know, child. But what I was gonna say, oh yeah, oh yeah, Ness went over to Patreon, Doc sent RNY, who sent her a crock pot that she couldn't afford and needed, and I guess she shared some of Jay Dunn family members, and they are taking her pages away. But yes, she's over here sweating me and harassing me and Nyla. Like, what is the problem? You didn't need me on your page, so why are you so mad I'm not helping it? You got your kiss ass friends. Like, why are you bothering me? Like,
And the
all I
whole
did was go
thing,
away. I walked away from you. That's all. Everybody was like, "Oh, I didn't know y'all was beefing." Yeah, because this time it was really a rap, and I took the blame for what I need to take the blame for, and what I need to take the blame for. She had showed me too many times she was a grimy ass bitch. I chose not to. I chose to make excuses instead of looking at it for what it was. So this is how we got here. You know what I'm saying? So I took my accountability for that. And I just walked away from the dumbass bitch. Because when I'm done, I'm done. There's nothing to talk about. Because like I said, she tried that on Shaquem platform. Oh, I'm just gonna take my presence, and I was like, listen, I don't want to be bothered with you. And she was like, well, you don't deserve to be in my presence. I said, well, take your funky ass presence. I don't want it. I don't need you, bitch. Like, why are you saying this to me for? And then after that, she seen I really wasn't dealing with her. And then here you go, she sent audio clip, and now she wanna dox me. Or because I walked away. Why you ain't bothering the people that took your pages, bitch?
Ness is a true life narcissist. And that's what I was saying to you. I think we should revisit the word narcissist because I don't think everybody that you claim to be a narcissist is a narcissist. Ergo myself. Because one thing I've
Oh no, you
learned,
definitely a narcissist, Heedy. Go ahead though.
we would have to revisit
No,
that
I told
because
you. No, I said you are
the
a overt
but
narcissist. She's a covert.
I,
She
how am
yeah.
I a narcissist?
The same way. You just out with it. That's it. But she's not
But
out
that
with it.
doesn't make you a narcissist because I'm
Okay, like
assertive.
I would have to look up
But
the.
let me help you
Okay,
out.
go ahead.
When
Go
you're a
ahead.
narcissist, and this is something that I learned from an actual psychologist. When you're a narcissist, the main thing that makes you a narcissist, one of the main things, because there's just so many different variables, but one of the main things is that you lack empathy. Only the main thing that I do, there's so many different diagnoses that you can give somebody mentally, that you can give somebody. There's a whole book of thousands of diagnoses or thousands of whatever you think that they are. We have gotten so used to calling everybody a narcissist. Everybody's not a narcissist, and everybody is does not. Ness is a person who lacks empathy. Ness is the person she is the true narcissist if you
You're
really
right.
want to
No,
think
she
about it,
does lack empathy. You're
because
right.
and I don't, and it's not the same because I can't, the reason why I gravitated to her in the first place was because she was struggling and she didn't have any money. And I was
Same
trying to
with
help
me.
her
Yeah.
build her
Right.
channel and stuff like that. And
Yeah. Same
anybody
here.
I see that's in need, I give to them and stuff. And I give freely. But, I'm a lot of things. I could be an asshole, but I don't think that that would be a
Okay, we'll
narcissist.
revisit it. We'll revisit
But,
it. Yeah, we'll revisit
but
it.
when it comes to her, when we're talking about I don't want to I don't want to be in the same state as my son because I don't like the weather. That to
Right.
me is
Right.
like that's very narcissistic. Like I don't give a fuck about him. It's all about me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Now, even the poem she wrote him, it was so generic and so like, oh, like it really seemed like an afterthought.
he's been nothing but an afterthought. I mean, even at the party that she had when she showed us, remember it was a party that happened that week that we was in Miami and I went back
Yeah, her
home and
mother's party. Yeah.
she yeah, and she was drunk then. She was drunk trying to take pictures with everybody and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And her son was like trying
You
to
see how her
tap
son
her.
looked at her like stranger danger.
And but there was times he was like trying to get her attention and tap her on her shoulders. And remember, she was on the live and she was saying, Mom, can you explain to him like don't watch me on YouTube? Can you explain to him don't look at me on YouTube and stuff like that or whatever? Tell him don't watch
Uh,
me. And stuff. And I told you not to watch me, even though
yeah, I
he
remember
still
that. You're
watched
right.
her.
That did happen. Yeah.
And it's like, lady, if you know that he's watching you because he don't know you, that would tell me to like change my behavior because regardless of what you say, he's not around you. So he's going to find any way he can to watch what you're doing. He's listening to you, whether you think he's listening to you or not. He has a cell phone. You told me he has a cell phone. He definitely has a cell phone. So he's watching her and she hasn't changed anything. And she's just getting high. She's talking about rolling up. She's talking about drinking. So I just hope that her son, hope that whatever it is that her son has, I hope, or whatever it is her brother has, I hope that it rubs off on her son so that when he grows up, he's gonna look at Ness and say, like, man, mom is a fucking loser. Like, look at all the times like she's been online and I needed her, or I wanted her to be at my baseball game and she's over here on YouTube in Seattle somewhere. She didn't even move out here to be near me and stuff like that or whatever. That would hurt me, man. Like, I don't know, but
And he, let me tell you this. From my experience, boys are not as forgiving in general. As you can see, men are never as forgiving as women are. So without a doubt, there will be some resentment. You know what I'm saying? Like
oh,
my mother had to
definitely.
deal with a lot of stuff from her sons based on like just because she wasn't there as a mom. You know what I'm saying? and
Right.
so there was a lot of questions that she had to answer, and she used to really be up, and I think that's another thing that eventually made me not have to talk to her, because she would really be upset about my brothers like coming to me for like advice and this and that. But the fact is, you had me like parenting, so like when I would go up there like for the summers and stuff like that, so that's the role you put me in, other than yourself, because you was like having kids and then having your older kids babysit. Told me, I'm trying to teach you a lesson so you don't have kids. No, you need to sit with your kids so you stop having them. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of things that she had to do. But of course, they ain't gonna let nobody touch their mom or nothing like that. But given how she done got beat up, I don't think her son gonna be stepping up either.
Right. And then like her saying like, I mean, cause that would never happen in my family. Like, oh, I mean, all I would
Right,
have to do is show.
right. Like, can you
All I would
imagine
have to
looking like
do,
that and nobody give a fuck? None of the men, not
even
even your brothers.
even the way I look, even the way I dress, like all I would have to do is show my uncles, my cousins, my father a scratch from another man on me, and they would get their guns and they would go looking for them, and I'd already know what's gonna happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that men in my family are not gonna step up. So I don't understand that having brothers. Oh my gosh, thank you. I mean, I'm so happy that I have nothing but sisters, because if I had a brother and stuff like that, like I mean, and of course, nothing like that has ever happened. But if I had a brother and something like that happened, or even any of my cousins, any of my uncles, any of my friends, any of that shit, they would not be here anymore. I already
Right.
know what would happen. And I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, something random happened to that dude or whatever, but it didn't happen from your family. It would happen from my family. I would make
Right.
sure you would get touched. Like,
Right.
just putting your even thinking you could put your hands on me, but I've never ever had like a dude ever like put his hands, like even think that they were gonna put their hands on me or anything like that. Cause I
Hmm.
would immediately, I got people I'm gonna call and stuff like that or whatever. But she got these big black like brothers that did not even lift a finger to do
Right.
anything when she got beat the fuck up. She had to go to the
Right.
cops. We not going to the cops because we don't need no witnesses. I would never
Um,
go to no cops.
that part.
So
But
I'm confused.
yeah. And then even with the thing, like with the touchy thing, because I remember it was this guy, I think I was like how was I, like 13 or 14, and he had to be like 18 or 19. I was going down the stairs, and he was coming down the stairs too. And he came up from behind me, he grabbed me from behind, he's like, "Oh, what's up?" I was like, "Don't touch me like that." He was like, "Just chill, it was an accident. It was calm down." And he went on down the stairs. I told my dad, baby, they beat the hell out of him for a couple of days straight. He had to move out of the projects for a couple of months. Like, yeah, don't play those games. Like, we're not playing that at all. So I don't know. I don't know how you could go to your parents and talk about things like that and they don't believe you. I don't know how your brothers could see your face like that and you got to still go to the cops.
Was
So
like energy from her mother. That was just like energy. Like, I feel like it was like energy. Like, you put me through so much shit. Like, when you finally come to me with something serious, like, I'm not buying it. I don't know. It just feels like the circumstances was not like, it wasn't like Ness was the best daughter. She already admitted she wasn't the best daughter. So then when it was a time where Ness was trying to be vulnerable, her mother was like, I mean, I'm kind of
well,
fed
look how
up
she
with
do that
you.
to us. Think about it. Look how many times she fake vulnerable with us, only to do that same bullshit again. So her mother know her better than anybody else. She could see she an ain't shit bitch that ain't about to change.
Right. And even with like, remember you said on Dimple's live the other night, you was like, Ness has a
Oh, hold on a
pattern where
second. Thank you, Shangy girl. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I subscribe to you as well. Appreciate you. I'll be over there. Returning for the guy.
she said that you said on Dimple's live the other night, you said that Ness um has a fake nice persona. So
Correct.
when we know that when Ness gets vulnerable and when she's down and out, she pretends to be nice. And then when she's not down and out anymore, she acts like a bitch to everybody. She acts like
Mhm.
she is self-made. She done did everything by herself, fuck everybody and all this other stuff. But then when she's brought back down, see, life always has a tendency. Now that we know about Nessa's patterns in her life has a tendency to humbleness, because
Mhm.
anytime she gets too prideful, she ends up falling again and shit like that or whatever. If you notice, that's her pattern. She
Right.
gets and I'm just like, I'm thinking to like fates. I'm like, man, what you mean? Like, we've already seen this shit again. Like, what does that mean? We've already seen this shit before or whatever. We're trying to come to the conclusion that Ness lied about her whole life. She lied about her father being a doctor. She lied
Mhm.
about having an elevator in her crib and when she was growing up. I mean, we're
She
pointing
lies
out the
about her
fact that she's a
age.
liar.
I really want to know, like, was that the last good
She
year of her
made
life
it
or
seem.
something? Is
Remember,
that
she
why she
made it
stuck with that year? I
right.
don't get it.
Remember, she made us seem as though her and her mother were the best of friends.
Yes.
Her and her mother were the best friends. But let Yaya tell her, we already know about that. Look, Yaya, I know you don't want to beef with nobody right now and shit like that, which makes perfect sense. But like, just step aside. If you don't want to call a spade, just shut up. Because you look really dumb and shit like that or whatever. Because Ness does look stupid or whatever, because she didn't have to lie about her life. If she wanted to capitalize off of something, then she should have just been transparent with people and should have just kept it real. But she wants people to look up to her and shit like that. But how are they gonna look up to a liar?
And she's
And
feisty. She literally goes around. It don't matter if you're nice to her. If she can't control you and make you create this family dynamic that she doesn't have going on. So she's like, okay, I don't have my family to love me unconditionally. So I'm going to have all these people online. No matter what I do to them, they can't do it back to me. They have to show me love. They have to show me loyalty because I'm going to help their page pop. Not in reality, it's the other way around. Because like I said, she had, and like, she's upset. And Deanna hit the nose on the head. I didn't really believe it, but it's true. Like I noticed that even when I talk about like my daughter getting her first apartment, you know what I'm saying? Because she just did her she started on her third year, so she's getting her first apartment. If Nala has like a award or picture day or graduation, she's never under. If I talk about my son birthday and what he just accomplished, she's never under any of them posts with a congratulations at all. Never, not one of them. I just know that I sat back and thought about that. So, and then it's like she's really jealous of the relationship me and Nyla got and me and my older daughter has. I've noticed that. I think that's why she's so hell bent on trying to have something happen with Nyla. Because she literally
so
wrote on her wall my address and took my, oh yeah, she got a 6-year-old autistic child as well. Like what? Like what?
she
Like
told me that every
she's sick.
time that she told me that every time she speaks to her son, she gets like tearful and stuff like that. And I was basically telling her like all you I mean, if you need to speak to somebody, like if you need to talk to somebody to work through that, because what you're gonna find out is that your son is gonna grow up and he's gonna grow up without you, due to you like thinking about how how you're not able to deal with your emotions. So you're going to have to figure out a way to work that out through some sort of therapy. You need to speak with somebody about that or whatever, so that you can be there for your son. But she said every time she speaks to him, like, she gets tearful, and she can't really talk and all this other stuff or whatever. And so I was like, but the whole thing was, I mean, it's like, it's always something like where she wanted to like make it seem as though like, oh, she's tearful and all this other stuff. But then when you flat out ask her, like, why ain't she even in the same state as her son? She says, well, oh, because I don't like the weather out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
A big
this is
part of
so
being a mother is selflessness. Your kid has to come first.
oh, she don't know what
It,
that means.
You have to be selfless when it comes to your child. So if you can't raise him, the least you could do is be available to him. Like maybe you ain't got it like to have him on the weekend. But hey, I could at least I'm close enough to come get him every day and do something. We can go to the park. Instead of begging your supporters for for the top of the line cognac or whiskey, whatever the fuck she be drinking. Ask your supporters, hey, I want to take my son over to a music park, or I want to go to over here. I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to help you. But no, it's all about you and nobody else. And then when other people are like, people take the time like, oh, Uppy, I love you and all the relationship. Oh, Uppy, here's this one, who's that for now? She'll send her minion with a fake tape that didn't even happen, that's been debunked. If she's not doing that, um, she is trying to have people come on the panel and attack. And then, like I said, every time she gets mad, her most heated thing is always directly trying to go at Nyla. Always. That's her number one thing. Nyla, Nyla, Nyla. And this time it was no excuse for that because I could have cursed you out, but I didn't. But instead of you going bothering the people that took all your pages, you come and bothering me. I don't have to be your fucking friend. It's a choice. And I don't I'm not gonna like I'm not those flunkies that sat around you never have been. I helped you build that shit. And I'm not doing it again. You said you was that bitch. You did it all by yourself. Well, go ahead. This bridge has burned. Leave me alone. But no, you couldn't do that shit. And now here we are. And people acting like I shouldn't have responded to the bitch putting my address out there. Are y'all fucking okay? She's lucky we don't live in the same fucking city. Y'all would have got a surprise fight on camera.
Exactly. Like it's just all the grimy stuff that she does, and it always leads back to her. It doesn't lead to anybody else because that's what she's known to do. That's what Brooke tried to do when she was doing damage control. Even though we still look at Brooke as the help, whether I'm talk we whether we're talking or not, we still don't think shit of Brooke because we know that Brooke's channel is trash. We know that Brooke's relationship is trash. And at the end of the day, Ness secretly thinks that Brooke's husband is on the DL. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at stupid people like that, like, make it seem as though like Brooke has a friend and Brooke wants people to believe, oh, and even intrinsic stupid ass, she was like, I'm for Nessa for life. Like, that's nothing to brag about, bitch, because that means that you're not a leader. That means that you don't have your own shit. I'll be damned if I claim somebody else's shit. And,
And they both older than her, and Trinity is almost 50 years old. It's weird.
right. I don't even think intrinsic is a millennial. But and she's probably no, she's not a millennial. And I'm like, lady, you're a generation X. We're supposed to be looking up to your dumb ass. You're not supposed to be looking up to us. You know what I'm saying? So, intrinsic is an idiot.
Hmm.
I and even you even said that day that when we were asking about Queen 88 and that other girl or whatever, you were even saying that intrinsic, like you even gave me the thing where intrinsic was saying, well, she got family stuff to attend to. Well, after the family stuff was over with or whatever, when her and Brooke actually came back, why weren't neither one of them going at either one of those girls? You know what I'm saying? And you know what Ness is gonna do? Because I know Ness like the back of my fucking hand. Ness is going to she has a whole mental note of who was there for her and who wasn't there for her. And Ness is going to, and she's already keeping tabs on this. She's definitely, it's gonna come a day where another day it's gonna happen where Brooke is gonna say something that irritates Ness because Ness is gonna be in one of her moods, and Ness is just going to say something disrespectful once again. She's gonna poke at Brooke, and Brooke is probably gonna be a punk ass bitch, and she's probably gonna want to have another conversation behind the scenes with Ness, and hope for the best again and shit like that. But Ness knows every now and then I could just poke at Brooke because Brooke is so desperate for friends. She's so desperate for online acceptance and shit like that or whatever. But if you think that Ness was not watching these bitches disappear all of a sudden and then come back after the fact, of her channel getting shut down and shit. And then even Shakim was on the panel with Queen 88. They were planning to do some type of collaboration together. Meanwhile, this bitch was also talking about how she was gonna take down Nessa's platform and how she flagged Nessa's platform, bragging and shit. But Shakim was on the panel like it wasn't nothing and still trying to collaborate with the bitch. See, if you don't think Ness ain't taking notes on that shit or whatever, y'all crazy. And
So
when
you
you
think that's
get
why she trying to pump up Pulp Fiction so hard? But that was a bust because baby, after that Kima episode, he can't talk to nobody. Like child, he came on, he tried to come on Lemon Line, talking crazy to me. Oh, you talking about people once again being sent out again. I was just ignoring him. I was like, oh wait, you got something to tell me? I got a nigga you could tell it to. You want to tell it to him? That nigga had no choice but to get on mute.
right, anybody that come at what's his name, anybody that come at that dude or whatever, like Ness, you know, nobody in Ness's camp is worth anything. And I told her that. I said, Ness, you got nothing but a bunch of Z-listers on your team. You got Brooke, you got Intrinsic, you got Shakim, you got Audio. These people are losers. You have nobody of any substance on your on your team. I said and even before Audio came, I was talking about other people outside of Audio, but I was like, these are the people that's gonna bring down your platform. I said you don't see it now, but they're gonna these people that you have around you. I wasn't talking about Audio, but I was like, these people that you have around you, they're gonna bring down your platform. Next thing you know, the month later, her channel goes down.
Mm. Yeah, because she was over there doxing. Why you got to R&Y? And then she had the nerve to bring up, this is how I treat her. After she bought me a gift that I didn't ask for, and something I already own. I already had a water pick. You just wanted my address because you knew you couldn't control me with your views. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I helped you get them bitches. I can get my own fucking views. I don't need you, bitch. So she knew she
But
couldn't do that.
the interesting thing is that sh- you know, there's people that have said that they think that it is not an outside job that brought down Ness's platform.
Of course,
It's
it
not an
probably
outside.
wasn't.
They
Mm-mm.
said it's an
They don't really
inside
like each
job.
other. Crooked Brooke, no, she done tried to pop. She tried to stick her chest out, but it didn't work. And she quickly cowered because she's a cowardice bitch. We seen that when Rita did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But let
Yeah,
her
she
tell
lost.
it.
Hold on a second, Heidi. Yeah, she lost. Well, we don't know if the main channel lost. She might have hit it because she know Queen 88 on it, but she tried to come out with a backup page. She lost that. Then she tried to go to Patreon, and Jay Dunn took her Patreon. So now she's on another page. She don't even. I got more subscribers than her. Go ahead, Heidi.
Right. So we have to keep in mind, we have to think about all that stuff or whatever. Like I told her that the people that you have around you, they're only around you because of what you are bringing to the table at this particular time.
Right.
When you are no longer of use to them, you're gonna see their loyalty fade away. I even reminded her, I was like, well, you say that you're cool with Shakim, you and him are so cool and shit like that or whatever. Well, why is Shakim in the chats when Trezor is dragging you and shit like that or whatever? See, that's not
Feminine
the
Nora
energy.
posted, but hold on, Kitty. Feminine Nora be hit Jane's biggest cheerleader. She ain't never got nothing to say,
Yeah,
but only to
see,
me.
but
You know what
see,
I'm
these are
saying?
the things that Ness is too dumb to realize and shit like that. Because if Trezor was talking shit about Ness around me and shit like that or whatever, I get in his ass and I'm gonna dig some shit up or whatever. But we don't see that energy from anything of Shakim, because we know that Shakim's an opportunist. We know that Brooke is a coattail rider. We know that Intrinsic rides coattails and shit like that or whatever. Intrinsic don't bring shit to the table. We know Brooke don't bring shit to the table. Neither one of their channels are shit. Cause these are the same Intrinsic was the same bitch that asked me to get her an intro made and shit like that for her channel, and that's had to shut that shit down quickly and shit. or whatever, because she wanted to be, Ness wanted to be the only bitch with an intro.
See, she don't want nobody to have shit around her. She want people around her to take whatever crumbs she deems necessary. But you better not try to have nothing popping on your own. It's gonna be a problem. She's very nasty and jealous hearted. You know what I'm saying? It's like people be so worried about one slice of bread instead of worried about the loaf they got. That's her. And then she
Exactly.
and then she likes to dish stuff, but she can't take shit. She's a weak bitch. So she needs to shut the fuck up and stop bothering people.
Exactly. So with the whole thing with intrinsic or whatever, I wasn't going to get her an intro done anyways, because I was only going to do that. I only did that for myself, and I did that for Ness and things like that. And I would also do that for the people that I'm, cool with and stuff like that or whatever. You know, whatever. But, you know, it was just crazy because you be acting like you're so tight with these people, and we was the same. We was literally cracking jokes on these people. We was literally cracking jokes on how Brooke was kissing up Brooke was just kissing up to Bizarro and Brianna last year, trying to be they best friend, until she started noticing how many numbers Ness was getting, and she was trying to jump on Ness's coattail. But Brooke wasn't. Why? But Brooks is so stupid. Is that Brooke spent so much time on Nessa's platform, she didn't even build up her own shit. That's what I'm talking about with these stupid bitches that be on panels all day. Make sure your channel's in order while you on panels all day and shit like that or whatever. Make sure you're actually nurturing your platform. Just like I told you, Uppity, I was like, make sure you get your shit, your channel in order before you think about going to somebody else's platform and you sitting on their platform making them money. You could be making that money for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that whole thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But nobody thinks about that. And the moment that Ness actually decided to come over here is always when something's wrong with her platform, or when she wants to throw you a little bone and shit like that or whatever. Oh, and even when that time when she gave you a redirect, I gave you a redirect. I shouldn't have gave you a redirect. She did the same thing to
I
Tulsa.
didn't ask her for it. She offered me plenty of redirects, and I said no.
Yeah, like the losers have made Ness like think that she's doing something by giving people redirects. Bitch, if you gotta redirect us to a fucking platform, to me, I feel like you don't have it. It's only I didn't know anything about redirects until these Umar people came along, because I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I'm just used to being able to go live and they're just people appearing in the chat and shit like that. They don't have it like that. So it's like a year later, you still need somebody to redirect us over to your shit. That means that you don't have it. That means that you're not that dude that you think that you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That means you need to sit your punk ass down. So that right there, you know what I'm saying, with that or whatever, it's just a bunch of losers. It's always the losers asking for redirects and shit like that or whatever. No
Hmm.
matter how many times you share out a loser, that does not mean people are gonna go. People
Right.
aren't going. Look at Arresto's channel. Ain't nobody going over there. Pazal done shared his channel out. He still got 300 and something views. How the fuck you got 300 and something views and you done went live for over an hour? You need to just hang that shit up. You need to hang it up after that or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I always told you, Uppity, I said, if you're just consistent with beef sector commentary, never
I
mind what
know.
you
I
got going
know.
on, you're gonna get numbers. Clearly, you're gonna
You
get
know,
numbers
I used
because
to do that anyway, but it's just like I'm like really a self-absorbed person. Like this Pulp Fiction getting embarrassed. I like to. I normally I don't never talk about dusty niggas like him, especially on my main channel. But I liked that shit. So if you know if it's something interesting, I will cover it. But majority of the time, they don't really be having shit worthy of me talking about.
right. And
Maybe on a
Pizarro was
piano, but not to do a whole thing about it. But I am going to start getting better because I do appreciate the people that support the things that I like to do. So I said I'm going to start doing better, like on my backup channel, going live more consistently about B sector things. I
right.
am going
And
to do that.
Pizarro was saying like, "Oh well, you shut down your channel because I wasn't coming over here." I already got used to you not supporting me, Pizarro. But the difference between me and these losers that you support, I don't need you. They need you or whatever. So when I came to the realization under the weird realization that I did not need you or whatever to do anything because I'm literally the person who is the creator. I'm the originator. I am the person who can come up with content all out of thin air and shit like that or whatever by myself. Um all this shit that you was talking about, it would have been nice to, of course, to have anybody that I feel like I'm cool with to have them in my what's the name. But as long as I have like, people like, MKS, I got people like China White, I have people like Uppity around me and shit like that. Like I don't need you for shit. And as you can see, the losers that you share out, they're not getting any fucking views. So, like I said, they're not bringing shit to the table. And like I said, they are boring because they're not even beef sector. So, a lot of people, no matter how many times you share them out, people ain't gonna watch their ass. You know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
gotta be involved, if you gotta be in the mix somehow for people to watch them, they channels ain't shit.
Yeah. It's
So you can't say
well,
the same about me. But the bitch was trying to make it seem as though I needed her and all this other shit. I don't give a fuck about Pizarro because at the end of the day, if Pizarro and China White was both drowning and shit like that or whatever, I would save China White. Pizarro would just have to die. So if we really want to be honest with that shit, Pizarro needs to stop acting like she's that valuable to me because you're not that valuable to me because you don't help me with shit when it comes to content. Because sometimes you're my content. Sometimes anything that's going on is my content and shit like that or whatever. Your crew is the ones that can't come up with shit by themselves. Your crew is the ones that has to look at other people to help them with their channels and shit like that. I never needed none of you bitches to come up with anything. To come up with anything on my platform and shit like that or whatever. Y'all reference my channel for shit when stuff is going on and stuff like that. I don't need to reference y'all channels. You know what I'm saying? Especially when y'all aren't talking about shit, especially when you got people like Cole. I don't watch these people. I don't watch them. I mean, the last time I've seen something one day and I did commentary on Pizarro's channel about what was going on. And the only reason I watched Cole was because I seen Jay Dunn up there and I seen Pizarro up there and they was talking about some type of financial thing or whatever. But Cole is not interesting. I mean, Resto's not interesting. He don't get no fucking numbers because nobody gives a fuck. And the people that are beef sector, y'all don't even share them out and shit like that. So, which means that y'all are responsible for the death of this sector and shit like that. Because everybody, whether you like them or not, and if you got a channel, you should be sharing them out. You should be sharing out Deanna. You should be sharing out,
I love Deanna. You know, I share
Olivia.
her out all the time. But
You
hold
should
on,
be
before I
sharing
forget
out.
my thought, Hitty. Hold on. What I was, what I was gonna just say. Oh yeah, see, like even in times like this, because Ness is self a selfish, greedy bitch that's ungrateful and unthoughtful, she try to keep people down, like people around her, instead of trying to help build them. Well, you can't really help the clumps or intrusion, but when you actually have people that have talents, instead of trying to help them build, like in a time like this where you are down, the only channel that she got from people on her team that would be popping would be Rodney, because at this point, Shakim has made his own ties with people in the sector, and he's not like, he really likes YouTube cameras and she really can't stand her. So she might go up there, but she ain't gonna be able to do too much with YouTube cameras. You see what I'm saying? So Shakim already got his own relationships, and he realized it was dumb to be out here like her do boy, because that's actually messing up his channel and people and his channel growth. So he's no longer probably going to be doing that anymore on her behalf. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he tried Deanna because of her, but that definitely wasn't a smart move, because Deanna is nothing to play with. Then he went after Demetrius. I don't know if she's trying to force him, but I'm just letting her know he going down the wrong road. Especially when he tried to tell the B second not to watch Demetria. She's one of the OGs, like a staple here. You can't say stuff like that.
But
Yeah,
guess who? Guess who was trying to go against Demetri? I mean, trying to go against Well, yes, trying to go against Demetra the other day when I was watching ODS because he had a panel, of course, because
I
we
heard
boring or
Shakim.
whatever.
That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah, you
no,
cannot
no.
do
But
that.
guess who? Guess who co-signed Shakim? The Miss Soul. And I'm like, bitch,
What?
you on your platform, no disrespect,
Woo!
demon
Demon must.
soul.
She must want to
No
be crying
defense.
on
Oh
someone.
my
Like,
God. Uppity, please go to ODS's live from
no,
yesterday.
I'll take
And
your
you
word for it. I ain't watching that official
oh,
peen sucker.
when you look in the chat, you look at Demetra and Shakim going back and forth, and you see the Miss O in the chat talking like shit, and literally egg. I mean, go. I mean, like literally encouraging Shakim, and I'm like, bitch, we aren't you beef sector? Why are you egging him on to like and making it seem like he's doing something towards Demetra and shit like that? Where's your fucking loyalty? Why is Demoso always trying to kiss a faggot's ass? Bitch, why can't you ever stand on your own 2 feet? And I said on my live, I said on my channel before I shut my channel down, I said Demon Soul would be stupid if she go back over to Jay Wilson. Lo and behold, not even 2, 3 weeks later, she back on Jay Wilson's platform. It's like we can't ever fucking respect no motherfucker like that because it's like, damn, you always trying to kiss a faggot's ass. You let these men talk crazy to you all the time, and I point that shit out so that you have the upper hand and so that you know about it and so that you can learn to be a fucking boss bitch and stand by yourself. But you can't even stand by your fucking self. You let these men talk crazy to you and you still be trying to kiss their ass. I don't know what type of low self-esteem women I'm surrounding myself with. I'm not used to these type of women and shit like that. But I'd be damned if I even if me and Demetra, I mean, I don't have me and Demetra are not beefing or anything like that. But Demetra will make her side jabs. I'll make my side jabs. She'll call me a Bangladeshi, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I'm not going against Demetra for no outsider. I'm not going against nobody in the B sector for no outsider. That's just not something I'm gonna do. And it's like Demon Soul is always trying to find like a way to like kiss a faggot's ass and shit like that. And it always backfires on her and it always looks stupid at the end of the fucking day. So I'm like, damn. Like you know how stupid you look in Demon Soul? I'm like, why the fuck are you going so hard for Shakim and shit like that, bitch? Don't you I mean, when he's not even beef sector. Go, I mean, you supposed to be neutral. Don't even say shit. Just sit in the chat and shut up. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
she literally didn't have to involve herself, especially knowing how
Right.
she can't handle a drag, and Demetra is a good dragger. Like, why put yourself in that position? And you know, the only thing you're gonna do is turn around, and start crying about it, saying people picking on you, because you know Demetra, she don't give a fuck if she, especially you know how sensitive you are about your color. She just gonna go in. She just gonna go in, and she probably gonna bring some props into it. Like you know how it goes. And she got her staunch core supporters that's gonna support her no matter what. So you're not going to be able to pull the colorism card. Just like Shaquem
And
wasn't, he
nobody
wasn't able to
checked.
pay the gay card. They you know like the 2.0 sector fees into that bullshit. The original OGs don't, including the gay men. They know what it was, except for James. But most and James, both James, but for the most part, they understand if you call somebody out their name, they got the right to call you the thing back. The king already set those rules. But go ahead.
But nobody checked. Nobody checked Shakim on the fact that Demetrius not doing beef sector content because Demetrius not doing beef sector content by choice, not because she ain't whatever the case may be. She's not doing it by choice, and she stated that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations and I've talked to her about that. I was like, well, man, why don't you do some B sector content and all this stuff? She want to do her own thing and shit like that. So, but at the end of the day, Demetra is solidified. You are
Right.
not.
Exactly.
You are Umar sector through and through. Stay in your fucking lane, stay in your shit. You got a bitch that don't have no fucking channel, don't got no credibility, don't got no power. You over here thinking that you're somebody and you're not nobody. You're nobody compared to Demetra and shit like that or whatever. So instead of your stupid ass just sitting back and observing and paying homage and shit like that, and just observing and shit like that, you want to disrespect Demetra and shit like that or whatever. You want to talk crazy, and nobody on that fucking panel, even ODS's dumbass, didn't even like check him and say, well, Demetra is literally solidified in the B sector. Demetra literally chooses not to do B sector content because she doesn't want to deal with no 2.0s. She
Official
doesn't
P
want to
sucker
deal with
doesn't
no
like
Umar
black women.
sector. She
Hold on,
does.
official P sucker doesn't like black women. He just had to chill out when them cash apps started slowing down. That's why he changed his whole demeanor. You haven't noticed? But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, none of them dudes like women anyways. But I mean,
Right.
you know,
But really not
it
black
was
women. They really
like
don't like us. Go ahead.
she was up there by herself, literally like going for herself, and even Sassy was on the link as well. And I was like, well, damn, neither one of y'all gonna say anything to this dude. He just going
Please.
off on her. Like that's why I said
Sassy.
this shit's so whack because there's no solidarity. There's no
Mm-mm.
solidarity, and at the end of the day, if we don't like each other, it should still should be even like I said, it should be
Well,
a
Sassy not
family.
B sector. She Avatar Nation. But go ahead.
It should be a family situation where if even though we might not really fuck with each other like that, we don't let nobody else fuck with our family and shit like that. Like it's family members that we don't really like that, but we
Right.
but we won't let nobody else put their hands on them. We won't let nobody else fuck with them. It should be like that type of energy. But
Right.
clearly,
But after they
ODS
carried
is
on, but Heidi, after the way they carried on after that Queen 88 situation, it's very well. I know some people I won't have nothing to say about. I don't give a fuck what happening, but I still keep those same sentiments. I agree.
And Pizarro got mad at me because I exposed the situation about her being scary with Queen 88. Like I said, that was my opinion, and there's been plenty of times where you giving your opinion on shit that I've done. Even when I be on your panel and I be arguing with people, you be trying to co-sign the other person. Don't let me be on a panel with somebody like James and you'll be trying to co-sign him, but you always trying to kiss a faggot's ass and they don't do shit for you and shit like that or whatever. But see, that's the energy and things like that or whatever. But I just felt like Demetra did not get her just due the other day because ODS allowed an outsider. This is why people don't respect ODS. This is why he sells phones and chargers and earbuds to this day at damn near in almost in his mid 40s. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Um this is why because he doesn't have it.
And
He's
he
not
got a
thinking.
household of CPN.
He's not, yeah, he's not thinking and shit like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the loyalty should go to Demetra. And I don't blame Demetra at this point for not fucking with the B sector. See, Pizarro was like, well, why don't y'all come up with content and all this other shit? Bitch, I wasn't, and even Lemon was like, I'm gonna take 2 days off. I'm gonna take 2 days off to to run. I mean, to so let's see what they do with the content now that my channel is down. Bitch, when I had my channel up, I never did content on your channel specifically. I did content on what was going on Pizarro's platform, what was going on Brianna's platform, what's going on any Olivia's platform, Deanna's platform, anybody's platform and stuff like that. I would do content on everybody else's shit. Yo, panel show was never a part of my content. So I was like, why he acting like he's doing something by taking 2 days off as if he's my anybody's content? You don't create content, Lemon. You drop a link. That's not creating content. That's not content creation. That's being lazy. Anytime you playing somebody else's live, anytime you are doing anytime you are dropping a link for a panel to come up, hoping that a panel comes up because you ain't got nothing to say, that's lazy commentary. That's not a content creator and shit like that. So all these stupid ass bitches making it seem like he's bringing content to the sector. I never did content on him. Reed's not doing
Right.
content on him. Five Babe's not doing content on him. Only idiots that's doing content on Lemon is Pizarro and Brianna, if you really
And
want me to
that's
be honest.
and that's when she had a channel. I got her
Yeah.
running now.
I see what happened to her channel.
Right.
So I mean, what I mean, so we gotta always consider the source, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna have a channel up to just go and look at people who aren't even beef sector. I do beef sector commentary, so I'm not gonna do commentary on people that's not beef sector. I don't give a fuck what they're talking about. You can talk about the beef sector all you want, but that doesn't make you beef sector, which means I'm not gonna do any commentary on you, which means I shouldn't have a channel. So Pizarro is confused with that whole thing and stuff like that or whatever. And she was still sitting her stupid ass in Lemon's chat yesterday. Meanwhile, he was talking about how Cold and Resto was only giving her $25 and shit like that,
Yeah, they
lowballing her.
was. And she was
She was
groveling
still
for
sitting
it.
in the chat. She was still sitting in the chat like a dumb bitch and shit like that. And I'm supposed to respect that. Nobody respects no stupid ass bitch like that. There's no way a fag could talk to me like that. The way that he talks to you, he couldn't talk to me like that or whatever. But that's why I said, you bitches, y'all, that's what makes me think y'all some like y'all some low self-esteem bitches and shit like that, because the way he was talking to her, how he was talking about how she was fighting for $25 and shit like that
Oh,
in the
Lemon
chat
was
and shit.
copying my community wall. Go ahead though.
Yeah, he was talking about how she was fighting for $25. I'm like, damn, that's you doing all this fighting and that's all you getting, bitch. Cause
Right.
I gave you more than that and shit like that or whatever. But this is where you doing now. That's why you having men on your panel, because they these dudes, everybody else, the women got tired of your punk ass. So they giving their money they giving their money to the men that you promote. And that's one thing that somebody said. I forgot what person said that or whatever, but they were like, she is promoting people and basically taking the money away from her, and she's giving the money to these people and shit like that. Everybody that she promotes, she's taking money away from her shit. She said, somebody said in they live, I forgot who it was, but somebody said in they live, oh, it was Olivia, Olivia the Oracle. She was like, why is Pizarro so fucking stupid? She's give And I told Pizarro this. I was like, you're literally pushing people to go to everybody else except you, and then you're wondering why you don't have no fucking money. They're gonna give their money to wherever you're sending them to, you idiot. You're supposed to make sure that your audience stays with you, you dumb bitch. Now, when you go live, you have no power and shit like that. You have no control because you didn't send everybody over to Lemon's platform, and Lemon ain't doing half the work that you're doing. You're putting out the content and you're not getting half the fucking cash apps, which means you have to bend a little. Now you got to have men on your platform and shit like that. Shit that you never thought that you would do. And now you lowballing and bitching about $25 and shit like that or whatever. But when you had somebody that was really donating to you, you didn't appreciate that. So, it's a win-win situation for me. So
Wait, she was saying like you gave her $25. I mean, not $25. Like you gave her a cash out to be on the panel that day. Was that true?
which day?
The last time you was on her panel, she kind of slid that on in.
Um what last time was I on her panel?
The very last time, yeah, recently I'm talking about.
I haven't had a cash app since last year.
Oh, okay. That's why I was just saying that because the way she slid that in, I don't know. She wanted to make it appear that way. What's up, geeked up? And I also said when I had did a live, I told her I was like, because she for some reason in her mind she feels like she want to feel like I'm hating on her. I don't care. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? If we beefing. Whatever. I'm just talking my shit. But that particular day, I wasn't saying nothing to her, and she just came out talking about I'm jealous because Cole giving her money. He like to me he was being disrespectful. He's he's literally bragging about giving people coffee money. But like I said, computer back, they tend to do to women what these men be doing to them. So I don't feel sorry for them.
That's why I was like, I laugh at these stupid ass bitches, because the little bitty pennies that they get now, if they just would have cooperated and shit like that or whatever, they would have gotten a lot more than what the little bitty pennies that they get now. That's why I laugh at these stupid ass bitches, because now I don't gotta give you shit. And now, and at the end of the day, I know how to create content by myself. See, Cole needs your bitch ass. Resto needs your bitch ass. I don't need you. So I don't know why you would even fuck with me and things like that or whatever, but I'm glad that you did and things, because now you look stupid fighting over $25. But like I said, I knew pickings was slim, and I knew that her money was going. I knew that Pizarro's money was dwindling when she got the day that she got mad at Lovely Love about that $50 versus the $100 that she gave to Lemon, which I don't even know why she gave Lemon more money than she gave put to Pizarro. That was so stupid. But when I seen her do that shit or whatever, when she got pissed off about a over about $100, I was like, Pizarro ain't getting money like that. She wants people to think she's getting money like that, but she's not. And then she said the other day, I don't know if you heard it, Uppity. She was like, and Code, I shared your post out of the kindness of my heart. Wow, wow, wow.
I
But
know, I
wanted to
didn't see
nickel
that.
and dime me. But wanted to nickel and dime me and shit like that or whatever. Now you look stupid, bitch, because I was giving you real money and now you scraping and scratching and scraping for pennies and shit like that or whatever. This bitch is dumb and shit
Like
like
I
that or
explained,
whatever.
but I explained it in my live the other day. I said, listen, once I figured out like when that situation with Cole, because he basically was trying to get out of giving her money and stuff like that. So no, he was like, go with Bresto, and she was trying to pretend like there was some attraction there. He was like, no, I'm not attracted to you, which is weird. I don't know why. How you gonna be attracted to somebody you don't know how they look? But Ghetto doesn't like black women, but or women in general, but really not black women. But anyway, I think he swings for the other team is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like he hates women or women like that. But anyway, I told her if they give you $25 for entry into a music park where they get the chance to play games and win way more than that, Code is getting back that money 15 times forward via Cash App, via memberships, and a check. And the check for YouTube goes by the views. And you are driving up his views, you're promoting, you're doing all of that work. So once he got into a comfortable place, they're just trying to break up with you gently now because they don't want the image that they got. Because the people that didn't even care about computer back, because of how hard they go for these men, and they was cursing everybody out because they thought that I don't know why they be thinking they that girl because these guys literally get do the bare minimum, but the bare minimum is enough to put them on top as far as esteem goes, and you know, and the way they be talking to their own chat crazy over these niggas when, like they said, my supporters support me. Yeah, but y'all forget that every time a nigga come around. Y'all quick to give your own chat your ass a kiss, which is why I know some people got to be feeling some type of way because of that. And you know, Cole is going to kiss ass to people when it's a need. And once he don't need you no more, it's a wrap. So now he's in the music park. So they got to come back every day and hit the machine and come home for 20. And they only had to pay they only got to pay a one-time entry fee of $25 a month to get access to hundreds of dollars.
Mhm.
And you really think you're winning. Just dumb.
Stupid. And meanwhile, they're making thousands. And then Pizarro's getting $25.
That.
Idiot. And but mind you, I remind her of this, but she swears I have such a problem with her, but I'm literally warning her about stuff like this or whatever. And one thing that I remember China White saying is that these guys, when they come into the sectors, they know the dumb bitches to go to.
Right.
They know the
Exactly.
dumb bitches to compliment, to feed a little, to blow smoke up their ass and shit. They know that Brianna has a low self-esteem. They know that Pizarro has a low self-esteem. So let me go over there and tell them that they beautiful. Let me call her big sexy and all this other shit. And then and in hopes that she's gonna redirect me for $5 and stuff like that or whatever, which she will. And still my platform's not gonna grow because I don't talk about shit. But I'm still gonna do what I gotta do and things like that or whatever. But yeah, they know who to play games with. The same game that they're running on Pizarro and they run on Brianna and they run on Nika, they couldn't run that shit on Deanna. They can't run that shit on Reed. You know what I'm saying? They can't run that shit on Five Babe and shit like that or whatever. So these hoes is just looking stupid and shit like that or whatever and dumb as usual.
Mhm. But they want to see it as jealous, so I guess.
So we have literally gave it their thing or whatever. But Uppity, if you need me, just send me an email if I'm around or whatever. But yeah, we done did like 2.5 hours and
Yeah,
we
I was
pretty
looking like,
much
yeah, yeah.
killed
But
that.
it's been great as always. It's been fun. Time was flying and shit.
All right, but if I'm gonna definitely be watching in the cloud, so if anything goes down and I see anything happening with you, I'm definitely going to, you know, be involved. So,
That's what's up. Thank you. I
all right,
appreciate you. Have a good
okay,
night, Edie.
all right, you too. Bye.
Well, guys, there you have it. Thanks everybody for coming through. I will see you guys around the YouTube streets. I have a couple of things to do tomorrow, so I'll probably be in a couple of people class, but I'll be around. Later, you guys. Shove kisses.
I will be one of the greatest, that is a vow, yeah, that is a promise. Always wanted to be famous, just being real, yeah, just being honest. My haters gon' always be nameless, give them no clout, I give them no power. Creators feel different, they ancient, sooner than later, all will be ours. I keep an eye out for the numbers, I stay in contact, synchronization. To infinity, even beyond it, I am a common, no destination. A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not go for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get ugly, yeah. Ain't no problem when I'm not equation. Present, noted, observation. I'm not new here, reborn creation. Come and find me, sending location.